and gentlemen, welcome back to what I think will be one of the craziest shows we've ever had, because what hasn't happened in the world of professional wrestling over the last week. To start things out, though, Jesse will be doing something he forgot to do during last week's show. Jesse is going to pick up his phone, go to Twitter, and he's going to start the hashtag #FreeChuckyT. Jesse, it was a week that Chucky needed, and you were not there for your boy.
Here's the thing. I can't. I want to be there for Chucky T, but Chucky's not there for himself.
That's true. That's true.
So how can I be there for Chucky T when Chucky isn't there for himself?
Do I need to bring up the Twitter for you to do that?
This week I cannot help Chucky. Sometimes you can only help those
who want to help
themselves.
So we're gonna do something a little different,
as MJF said, and we'll get to him fully. But
so
as he
folks,
said, it was
we're gonna mix things up a little bit. Normally we start the show with the biggest news of the past week, but we're gonna start the show with something I think is a little more fun. Ladies and gentlemen, In Your House was in your face.
It was a good show,
and I love the show. Jesse has a bunch he wants to get to with it. He's got some issues with it. Leroy, where is that card for In Your House? Because, ladies and gentlemen, the stars of NXT 2.0 decided that they were going to make the Hell in a Cell weekend start off with a banger, and they started off with a bunch of bangers. And
yes, they did.
And we got some stuff to get to. So, Jesse,
hold on one sec. I got somebody calling me.
So Leroy's going to have to take a second here. Jesse, are you ready?
Let's go.
We started. And I had this on mute because I was dealing with something on the phone, but just by watching on mute, this match was great. Because sometimes if you don't watch with commentary or sound and just watch what's happening and you can see the reaction of the crowd, then you know it's real.
Right.
But so we had the Family.
That's right.
Versus Legado.
And in the end, Fantasma del Legado.
Del Fantasma.
Thank you. I knew I was going to get it wrong.
Yep.
Actually had to join the Family.
They're part of the Family now.
This is actually going to be really interesting because I was not expecting this.
I don't think anybody was, and I also don't think anyone was expecting. We'll get to the action here in a second.
Right.
I don't think they were expecting how the ending was done.
Right.
But Jesse, this is what you've loved about Tony D from the beginning is. He is so into the character.
Right.
Jesse, the Don does not get blood on his hands.
No, he does not.
So he did not give the pinfall.
No.
He sort of led to it.
Right.
But the actual act will not be, attributed to
the
Don.
Right.
The Don is not directly involved, Jesse.
No. You see the
Stacks and Two Dimes are the ones.
As we call them, the workers.
Yes.
Of the Family.
Yes.
Found a way to just get it done.
Yes. And what I think is so unique, Jesse, was now we can get into the action. First of all, the ability to be calm beforehand. You saw everyone's abilities were very much highlighted here. Nobody tried to do something that wasn't theirs. The high flying was
yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah. The high flying was attributed to Legado,
right.
Whereas Tony D and the Family kept it. I mean, this was not a match where somebody had to adapt to the other one's style.
Correct.
Every spot that happened fit the people that were doing it.
Correct. Right. And here's the thing. It didn't feel like anyone kind of completely lost their
The brawlers were brawlers.
Right.
The luchadors were the luchadors. Is basically what it was.
Right.
Oh yeah, totally.
And Elektra Lopez was great. You know what's interesting about NXT 2.0? It's very old school in that the managers really don't overtake what's happening in ring. They really are there for their spots, and that's about it. You still get the action. Now, first of all, the action, dude, this hurt watching. It also was the fans loved it. What? Yeah. I see why this started the pay-per-view.
Right.
It got people out of their seats.
You know what hurt me the most? That crowbar shot.
Ooh.
Oh my God! I'm like, whack.
Took a hell of a shot he did.
He wasn't awake.
So I'm sitting there and I'm watching that spot, Leroy, and the first thing that kind of pops into my head is, remember when Triple H gave Umaga that damn back shot with the sledgehammer.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's what that reminded me of. Because
Really?
it was just like, did he actually really like just smash him in the fucking face with that thing? Like
That was a very good spot. I was like, oh my god, that looked
right.
like it hurt like hell, and he's not awake.
No.
And they pushed him over. I mean,
It was you know, the only thing that I can say is, regardless of if you like the over-the-top stylings of Tony D'Angelo and the family,
Right.
they're very entertaining and they're very good at the style they're portrayed. Like, I honestly, if you want to say it's a little Vinny over the top, that's fine.
Yeah.
But Jesse, you can't say that it's not done very, very well.
Oh, I agree.
It's so much fun. Bring the mic down just a bit.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if you guys can hear me, but
Yeah, there we go.
yeah, it's like I said. This is the only one. This is actually the one or two matches where I enjoyed everything thoroughly. We're gonna get to the first part of my issue with finishes tonight.
Yep. Go ahead, Leroy. Next match.
next match it was Toxic Attraction
Yep.
retaining against Katana and Kaden.
Jesse, I'll let you take this one first. Go ahead. Oh, the headset's already off.
Oh shit!
We're only
All
like,
right,
what, 20
all right.
minutes into this?
I'll have to pop that up real quick.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Oh, it was calm before the storm. I don't put it back.
We're in
I'm
the
going-
eye of the, we're in the
I'm-
eye of the storm now.
My hearing's getting shot, so I'll be fine.
It does not bother me completely that that they retain. Doesn't bother me.
Right.
Doesn't bother me at all. Okay? What bothers me is that they let them retain, and I'll explain why.
Okay, yeah.
The better story at this point is to see what happens when Toxic Attraction now has 3 people who have finally overcome them.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Apparently, as the rumor came down to me, that is not what Funky Love wanted. Fucking course not! Because these two still think that they're booking in the 2000s.
This might be 99 at this point. I don't know if we're in the 2000s with this booking.
I thought the ladies had a very great
yeah.
match.
Mm-hmm.
They carried themselves very well. It'll actually be interesting to see what happens because I think the next
NXT show.
is right before
SummerSlam. Okay.
It'll be they'll
It's
do the same thing.
they're gonna have a Great American
Bash. It's actually on July 5th.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Yes, it
Okay.
is. It's the day after 4th of
Because
July.
I thought they were going to do it like the same way they did the one before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Kind of gets them a feel of like doing a small arena show
Yeah.
and stuff. And,
Yeah.
and this talent is very good. By the way, happy birthday, Gigi Dolan. Just turned 26.
Hard to believe because Gigi,
She's been around for a long time.
and at least the way they portray her, she looks like she's in her 30s and she's been doing this for like 15 years.
Yeah.
Well, I
definitely.
mean, but once again, the cultures are different here in Japan and then in the UK, where Pete Dunne and those guys were teenagers when they started. In
Right,
the business,
yeah.
So, I mean, I know some people will talk about Julia Hart. That's a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was kind of kept local until she was 18.
Yes.
There's a phrase I'm going to start using from now on, and it is, why did this happen? Because who's the tag team to take them on next?
Well, there really isn't one right now because
Right.
you just beat arguably the longest tenured tag team of females that you have in NXT.
Here's the other problem for WWE. Because remember, they announced they are going to do this whole tournament for the for the actual women's tag team championship.
That's been scrapped for now.
Because here's the thing: what tag teams?
Well, see, again, I've been questioned a few times on the internet, so I want to put it out there. I've never said that Sasha and Naomi were wrong.
Right.
How they handled it could have been a little bit different.
Right.
Because like Jesse said, and we'll talk about this heat later, people wonder,
figure out
well, why are we not calling WWE hypocritical for Sasha and Naomi versus MJF? That's a different situation because, to quote Jesse, MJF did the job.
Correct.
He did the job.
Right.
And we'll talk more about Sean Ross Sapp's reporting and all the other stuff involving Tony Khan later.
Right.
But to quote Jesse, there would not have been as much heat with them had Sasha and Naomi done the job and then gotten angry.
Right.
So WWE, again, consistency with WWE.
Right.
Once again, we are telling you that our consistency states if you do the job, we can deal with it later.
Right.
Which is why I don't think there was a lot of heat with Toni Storm because she did the job in the live event and then she went home. It's not like she didn't no-show the live event.
I agree. Right.
She did the live event.
Right.
And for those of you saying she's better off in AEW, I'm like, she was going to be a SmackDown Women's Champion at some point.
It's hard to agree to that.
When you realize that she wasn't even in the finals of
a
tournament that we'll talk about led absolutely nowhere. And it was easy to see who won because they were dressed a little too like they should have been winners.
By the way, something I called, and we'll get to it because it's once again I don't like being correct.
No.
But
and I did not. Yeah.
Here's the thing. They have no women's tag teams anymore.
No, they don't because you literally just had Shayna and Natalya beating each other up in the six-pack challenge.
Right.
Pat McAfee's a god on commentary, and this match is gonna happen.
Yes.
I'm just like, God damn it, Pat. Just throwing it out there, like just throwing it in there.
You know, he's just doing his stuff. But
For those of you wondering, this is a very active kitchen behind Jesse and I. So yeah, so you know, it is what it is.
But here's the thing: there's no women's tag teams.
No,
they've basically cleared all of the ones in NXT now.
Yeah.
Besides if Ivory reteams with the girl she beat up or whatever, I don't know what they're doing.
So once
with
again,
that.
my suggestion of their trading in the NXT tag team titles for the real ones wouldn't have been the worst suggestion.
No,
because at this point they're the only women's tag team champions in the entire company.
I agree. It's just it no longer. Here's my big thing. This is why this booking didn't make sense because if you have them win, now you have a built-in story.
Kaden and Katana. Yes.
I almost called her by her actual name again.
Yeah.
Like I said, the decree is stupid, and he'll change his mind next year, and I'll just be like,
"Yep,
Grandpa, stop."
Right.
But yeah, when you're talking about the fact that like they're the strongest. Oh sure. Yeah. They're the strongest tag team left in the division, and you beat them.
Yeah. It was a very. No, the paper on that.
Oh, okay.
It was a very odd booking. It was a very odd finish because, like you said always thinking ahead, and this is just no one's thinking ahead. Next up, Jesse, we had. I'm just gonna say it. It was actually given the most time outside of your main event by only about 20 seconds.
Right.
Carmelo Hayes defeated our boy Cameron Grimes. Now we all said we don't know, but I said personally I don't care.
Right.
But Jesse, if there was a way for Carmelo Hayes to get the title back, this was how you do it.
Right.
Because, folks, he's the heel with a manager, but Trick was very nonchalant in this match.
Right.
He had a couple of spots that he hit, but he was not a factor, in my opinion, in the decision. I don't think he was.
Right.
He was a chicken shit style, but in the style of, okay, he exists, but he's not taking on any role in the match.
Right.
And then also, Jesse, can we just say, Elstein, whatever rule you want. These boys put on a banger.
First of all, this is the two title changes. These two title changes, and we'll get to the other one here.
Yeah.
The right decisions. Like I said, you can actually now do this feud back and forth for a while if you like.
And the other part about it is there was video afterwards that Solo Sikoa was watching.
Right.
But also, a lot of people were saying, Jesse, and it's funny, they didn't say this until later in this little feud thing. Folks, again, if you're not watching NXT 2.0 on the daily, that's fine. But don't sit there and say it's not worth watching. And then you come in and all of a sudden you're like, Carmelo looks lost without the title. Well, you can't say that 3 months after he had it / lost it and say he doesn't look good in it. But I will say this. He made it so
the argument's very bad when people say things like that. But it's like I said, this feud could go on for as long as they want it to, and I've got no problem.
And you know what? And you know what, Cameron? Trevor's such a professional, as you've pointed out before on the show. Trevor will do. Again, not a shot at Miss Storm here,
right.
but Trevor will do a pie spot and not care,
right?
Because he'll just make it work for himself,
right? Right.
It's a controlled comedy, is what I think. Yeah. Trevor's always been good at, because like you said, down in PWG, he didn't have this over the top accent type personality, but Trevor was very different in PWG than he was in Impact.
Insanely vocal in PWG. So, yeah, I love this match. Talk about workhorses of NXT right now. These two solo workhorse is, and
they are putting out banger after banger after banger.
Now they're bringing Fabian Eichner back into this division as Giovanni.
Yes,
that should add a lot, I believe, because in the ring, he is spectacular. I think they wanted to work on how he speaks, and I have no problem with that.
Do you think that they brought Ludwig up because he was the lesser talent, so it's easier for him to be the secondary talent?
I think they probably brought him up because they felt like he would fit Gunther more.
He also talks better than Fabian, which we all acknowledge. But again, NXT is now very much the land of English is not your first language.
Right, it really is.
And if it is, it's an English accent type thing.
Unless you're Andre Chase, your English is usually broken.
Yes. Now we move to the champ, Mandy Rose defeating Wendy Chu, or as I like to call it, the Leroy versus Jesse match, because folks, Leroy can't speak while Mandy's on set, and folks, Jesse will claim Wendy Chu over the rest of you. Whatever, bro. Deal with it.
Oh, bro, we'll fight for that Rumble, and I'm gonna win. But yeah,
Jesse will find a luchador style that has never been found. His body will de-age 10 years.
I will use Japanese tactics that have not been seen in 22 years.
Yes.
Once again, great match. What the hell was the ending?
It kind of felt flat. It kind of felt a little bit flat.
Once again, when you let your champion run through everyone, like I said, the way they're doing it with Roman is the correct way, because you build a contender, beat him. Build a contender, beat him. There's nothing wrong with that, because depending on how they lose, they still feel like they deserve to be in the picture.
I didn't want to bring this up, but it's been reported that Claudio spent most of his time at home with his child.
And he might be coming back.
And WWE may admit, hey, we kind of did lowball you.
Right.
Because here's the deal. We'll talk about Tony a little later, because sadly we have to have a long. I know people don't like that we're on it for like 90+ minutes, but when you give us that much material, we'd be idiots not to cover it. Sorry.
Last week was just, you almost had to cover all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, great match.
Yeah.
Not a shock.
Yeah.
Just don't get the booking of the ending and why it is what it is.
Now, I will say this. I think that Wendy went in there as the sympathetic favorite, but came out as, okay, we believe this.
Sure.
The crowd, I don't think, was as into Wendy as they were at the beginning as they were at the end, which I think is great going forward. But like you said, that was probably the time to pull the trigger.
Right.
But I do think
because I think Roxy is probably still at least 4 or 5 more months off.
Probably.
So
I've got her beating Tiffany because, like you said, Tiffany being the top gal doesn't fit the gimmick.
No.
But her being a top contender does.
Correct. Like I said, she can kind of win it in a very cheating kind of way, especially the fact that she has the quote-unquote relationship with Grayson Waller, who we know is a despicable human being.
Jesse, the more and more you watch him, the more and more you get right, he'll never be able to go face.
No.
Because no one's going to believe it.
It's, like I said, it's with the way he took out Johnny Gargano, the way he tried to take out Tommaso Ciampa,
Yep.
and then everything he's done since, it's going to be very, very
And it
difficult.
also doesn't
to make
help
him a
that
face.
and it also doesn't help that the big guy that they had with him, he's already becoming a very sympathetic,
Right.
loved face from the get-go that
Right.
people have no issue with him at all. All right, so we move on. Jesse, if Carmelo and Cameron wasn't your match of the night, this had to have been. And I just want to start out once again. If you ain't watching NXT UK, it's on. It's got one ad, even if you're not paying for Peacock.
Right.
Folks, once again, no one cares that Pretty Deadly lost. The Creed
Right.
brothers won. But the
Right.
story they told about the Creeds
Right.
throughout this night, it fits so well. Even Allison got up from her phone at the ending and was like, where did that come from? When all of a sudden your boy Julius turned into Brock Lesnar but hit it.
Yeah, listen. These two are impressive. They're
folks,
impressive, man.
Folks, if you don't think tag team wrestling still has a vibe or can be revived, this proves you otherwise. Like, I mean,
Oh, definitely.
Pretty Deadly. Jesse, is there anything that these boys can't do as chicken shit heels? They're so
good. They're really good. Yeah, they're impressive.
They annoy you.
Yeah.
You hate them. They are good looking, which makes a lot of guys' self-esteem hurt, which allows for more booze.
Sure.
They appeal to the ladies and maybe the guys who are on the other side of the fence. Again, no issue with that, but I mean, it is what it is. But again, in the UK, the crowd never really thought that much of it because it's the UK. It's a much different scene.
Right.
But just Jesse, these boys, Elton and Kit, they can wrestle.
Right.
They can be promo guys. Like, I mean, they are total packages as a tag team.
Right. Here, I will say this overall. No issues with the match. Absolutely. Like I said, I've come to appreciate.
Leroy has returned to the.
I'm about to say Leroy has returned.
Well,
to the best that you see on video.
I gotta feed my kids. They're hungry. I've got to do my parenting thing.
Well, yeah.
They can't fend for them. Well, Eben can, but Clara can't.
No.
Not yet.
Well, that's why you teach them like the lion does, and if they can't feed themselves,
They're
They
going to
die.
start.
Exactly. Exactly.
Their mother might have a problem with that.
well,
I don't give a shit about her.
I was
either,
going
but
to
don't know.
say, I feel like
she
she
has
has starve a little bit.
She has other problems that are for a different show.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if they have that kind of show.
They do. It's called Dr. Phil, and I would have said Mari, but Mari's retired to the streets of New York.
Ah, yes,
Anyway.
yes, yes.
Yeah, he did. That was a shock to
Yeah.
me.
She's not good enough to be on Jerry.
Jerry retired too.
That's kind of fucked up to say.
Yeah, right.
Her life
Although-
ain't that bad that
First
she needs to be
F-bomb,
on
we're
Jerry.
22 minutes in. We're
Yeah.
doing better.
Although Leroy,
Yeah.
Jerry has had small game on his show.
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
So that's
So
good.
I mean,
and he
That's true.
can he can put a pool in there too. so-
exactly.
But yeah, this tag team match was excellent.
Oh my god.
I love the Creed boys. The story with
They
them
have more
and Roderick.
personality than I expected them to have.
That's very true.
I will go on record, whatever number show we're on. I will go on record. And
105.
I was going to say, I think it's 105.
105? Okay.
We're
I
on
will go on
105.
record at show 105, and I will say, I thought that Jesse, whether they were presented as such, forget how they were presented. I thought from listening to the first couple of months, I thought they were meatheads.
I agree.
I thought they were.
I agree.
And turns out that Julius, oddly enough, I'm missing the names in front of me. Brutus. Oddly enough, Brutus has a lot
Brutus
of
and
personality
Julius.
for the big guy.
Yeah.
But Julius can talk. It's a very impressive package.
I thought that they let Malcolm go at least a month too early. That's okay.
Yeah.
Because they've found their way as far as talkers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a very interesting story still there with them, and then there's supposed to be leader Roderick Strong.
Yeah, Diamond Mine's arguably the most interesting thing going in NXT right now.
Because, he kind of threatened to get them the hell up out of there if they couldn't win the tag titles.
Right, yeah.
And like I said, it'll be interesting to see the dynamic. Now,
And again, Roderick doesn't seem to be causing too many issues since he asked for the release and they told him no.
Right.
He seems to be either, like you say normally, Jesse, he's doing the job out, or he seems to be like okay. But again, Jesse, even if Roderick's talking to the Creed brothers, it's still
Right.
more than ROH ever did for him.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Come on, man. That's not saying much.
He was Mr. ROH, but Jesse, he was he was the letter jacket wearing
Well, like
kid.
I told people, when he was in ROH, though, he was. If you felt like WWE acted like they didn't know what to do with him, ROH damn sure didn't know what to do with him.
Because what was weird was Mr. ROH, when they finally got TV consistently on Access, he was featured like the first 2 weeks, and then you didn't see him for like 3 months, and I'm like, this is supposed to be Mr. ROH.
Right.
Yeah.
And he's not on their continuous television show? What are we doing? But anyway, no, this was great. Creed's, holy crap, don't break him up for a while. Let him just be a tag team right now, and let them just keep working on it.
And I did enjoy that the family
that was a great moment.
at ringside there and got to celebrate with the family.
But Jesse,
Wonderful.
A moment that is uniquely Vince's.
Well, yeah.
Which is Julius holding the belt and making that long, drawn out, dramatic decision.
Right.
It worked here. I don't know what it was. Such a subtle look back to his dad.
Right.
That like it's almost like the camera was the only look, and Julius had such an eye turn, not a head turn.
Yeah.
That like is it me, or did it not just work here?
No, it works. Like I said,
Yes.
Everything about how they kind of told the story, how they put the match together.
Yeah.
I thought was so beautifully done. Like I said, I really like this. The NXT tag division is very deep.
Both teams, as I said at the top, both teams held their own. Nobody was really down a peg in this match.
Right.
And like I said, pretty deadly. I mean, Jesse, call me crazy. Put him on Raw or SmackDown right now. They're going to be the new kids on the block who are arrogant as hell, who are going to annoy every other tag team in every division. But Jesse, then all of a sudden you get in the ring and you're like, oh shit, them boys can go.
Right.
Yeah, even though it was hinted it's going to be one person as a new client on Friday.
It
could be two.
I
Right.
know that Aaron is a little bit disheveled, that they broke up Mustache Mountain, but I'm going to be 100% honest with you folks. I always saw Mustache Mountain as they were two singles guys who worked well as a tag team.
There were 3 singles guys.
True.
Who were in a faction.
Right. But the thing is that, Jesse, here's the unique part about Mustache Mountain breaking out. The two of them are so good. This feud will go on for a couple of months on NXT UK and will be a great feud between the two guys in Mustache Mountain.
I will say this. They had to do it.
Yeah.
I think Trent's 2 years older than me. So, like...
It was now or never with Trent.
Like...
Tyler's still a kid.
Tyler's still 24.
Right.
Because he's a couple years younger than Pete Dunne.
Yeah.
By the way, which means they both started at incredibly young ages in pro wrestling.
Right, yeah.
They've both been in the game for about a decade now.
Right.
Guys, it was going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell people. Either it was going to happen in WWE or it was going to happen in WXW. Like, it was going to happen at some point.
Mustache Mountain was
That
over
was
at some
never
point.
going to last because those two were too young for him to keep sticking around with them.
Yeah.
Period. I told people that 6 years ago.
You did, yeah.
When they kind of reunited them on NXT TV.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys, enjoy the next 3 years.
Yeah.
Because this is going to get broken up soon. In the UK, they would have to do it. So I get why people are upset. I trust me, I love the boys. I love the big, strong boys. But it was going to happen. It was going to happen. They're too young.
All right. So what was after this, Leroy? On the show?
After this, it was the last match of the night.
Whoa, what? We got a few matches to go here.
No.
Oh, it was such a fast-going night, I lost track of time.
Yeah. It was that, and yes, it was for
By the
the
way, before you finish
NXT
that
Championship
thought,
match.
It's because what's nice with WWE recently, especially on smaller pay-per-views,
They're shorter pay-per-views.
they're shorter.
Yeah.
So they're like 2.5, 3 hours, but you get in and out very quickly.
You do, yeah. All right. So
Unlike somebody else last Sunday.
we'll talk about that. All right, Leroy. The last match of the night.
Last match, it was the NXT Championship match with Braun Breaker.
I know some people thought...
winning.
Yes. I know some people thought this match didn't fit the overall theme of the night, but it wasn't supposed to.
No.
Right.
It was supposed to be a completely different feel, a completely different vibe. One thing that Vince does better than Tony is he knows how to change a pay-per-view's feel from match to match. You don't feel like you're watching the same show. Which will be interesting how they book Hell in a Cell tonight. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But no, okay, I know we all picked Gacy, but when I was watching on Peacock, the cock,
Well, of course, that's where I was watching it.
yeah, as
The
I was
cock.
watching, I realized that they had a commercial for NXT Live and Braun was in it. So all those 12-plus shows they're doing for the Florida run, basically, because it's just in Florida.
Yeah.
We got to check and see what night that Jacksonville show is, because if they're running Jacksonville the same night as AEW is doing television, some people are going to choose 2.0 over AEW Dynamite.
Which would be very interesting to see.
They definitely should.
Well, but we'll get to that.
It'll be a better show.
It literally might actually be on a Friday, though, so we'll see.
Well, right. And for those of you wondering, Dynamite is then followed by the taping of Rampage, so there's no show. But anyway, look, they sold it well. I don't think Gacy was really hurt by it because of how much he took from Braun.
Right.
And Braun what I think is happening is Vince has called your boys Funky Love. Not your boys. I meant everyone else's boys. Cause
I'm about to say, let's be very clear.
They ain't your boys.
They will not be at a fucking family gathering anytime soon.
They're not invited to the barbecue.
No.
They're not invited to the barbecue.
Yeah, they're on a Friday night in Jacksonville.
Okay, it's a Friday night in Jacksonville. Okay.
Jacksonville Armory in Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
Check that out, everybody.
But anyway, I think he has radioed down to Funky Love and to Hunter. I want to see how the kid looks on a lengthy title reign. I want to see him look bad on the build-up, but still come out of it like the beast that he is. He is trying to get all the kinks out in NXT 2.0 before he gets main roster, because as far as I'm concerned, when he finally drops this, ultimately maybe to Gacy, because like we said, Gacy this didn't seem like the end. It just seemed like a very hell of a match.
Right.
I think that when Braun loses, it's the end of Braun Breaker in NXT 2.0.
Yes, definitely. Oh, that
When he loses, he's being called up.
when Gacy got flown out and hit that table and it destroyed the announcer.
Now, Jesse,
holy crap, that had
this
to
is
hurt.
the first lengthy
Wow.
time we've been able to see Gacy as himself because he was so busy with Mr. Green as goose shit. Nothing against you, Parker Brodo, but welcome to the wrestling internet. If you want to be still in this business, you're gonna have to understand that you're green, kid. Get over it.
Yeah, he'll get better.
Yeah, but
yeah,
anyway,
it was about almost a 16-minute match.
right. But Jesse, that's
Longest of the night.
But Jesse, that's my whole thing. Is that is this the best of Joe Gacy? Is this the best way he works?
I think there's still better to come. So interestingly,
In ring.
and we'll get to it later.
Yeah.
Inside Hell in a Cell, because I think there could be a very interesting return tonight. I think WWE decided to fork out some money to somebody.
Which will be a great
rumor.
It would be a great pay-per-view if that does happen.
What I think is funny though is, and we'll set this up for later there, Mr. TK. Again, where's all this money you told us about?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, go ahead, Jesse.
Because Claudio's going to go back, and but you have more money than Vince.
Your words,
right.
in an interview.
Right.
Yep.
Your words.
Oh, yeah.
You have more money than Vince.
You have more money than Vince.
So
He's hitting an 8-ball before he said
I
that.
thought the start of the match was really good.
That's true, Jesse. 8 balls cost a lot, especially in Florida. There's so much demand for it in Florida.
I'll get to his conke habits when we get to
We'll have to, yes.
Eventually.
So I did like, especially like leading into the match, the fact that Braun was taken off of his game because of all the mind games.
Yeah.
That Joe Gacy was kind of living rent-free in his head.
And by the way, Leroy, I forgot to mention, Braun Breaker became one of Jesse's favorite new wrestlers recently in an interview when he was like, Goldberg was one of my favorite wrestlers as a kid, and I got that tattoo, and now I regret it. So Jesse was
because
like,
that
there you go.
design is stupid. It's always been stupid.
yeah, it's not the greatest design. Yes, I do agree with that. But
Jeez,
But hey, that's all right.
Goldberg was big for the kids.
So like I said, it's so weird to me because I liked Goldberg. I'm sorry, I fucking hated Hulk Hogan.
I
know. We're gonna have to. We're gonna
it
have
hurts
to box
a little. It hurts
at
a little
some point
bit
because you're gonna have to.
It hurts a little bit, but I still love you.
But yeah, with Goldberg, it was as he got older where I was just like, you didn't get this right in 2002, and as an adult, I don't want to see it now. But yeah, that whole interview made me laugh, and I'm like, I like the kid even more. He gets how stupid that thing looks.
Yeah.
I
was gonna say, hey, Jesse's gonna love seeing this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But and by the way, folks, if you ever wonder if Jesse sees something involving wrestling news, he does. There's no doubt he won't see it at some point.
Just because I don't speak on it doesn't mean I didn't see it.
Yeah.
You have said, sir, you have an unhealthy obsession with professional wrestling.
I'm lucky. I've been kind of in relations with a lady who doesn't mind it, because I'm sure for other people they'd be like, why?
I invited mine to come over tonight, and I was like, come on, watch some Hell in a Cell. She was like, oh. I said, yeah, watch some wrestling. She goes like, we can wrestle later. I'm like, yes, the kids, the children do have to go to bed. I will duct tape them to their bed to make sure they don't get out of bed.
So back to the championship match. Before we completely
You're welcome,
lose the
guys.
show.
Oh. Not totally.
Before we completely get taken off. I thought the whole, like, in his head, he could barely get himself back into the match until near the end.
Yeah.
Where just overall athleticism.
Was this the best chair work you'd seen in a while?
Maybe.
This was so well done, and by the way, folks, WWE doesn't normally do this, but when they do, it's something that is so unique. But okay, Jesse's talked about this on the show. I'm pretty sure, Jesse, you're the one that said this. When you watch WWE, because of their New Yorker background,
right,
you have to really look at the story inside of the story.
Right.
When the referee almost threw him out with the Eddie Guerrero spot,
right,
the other referee running in, everyone's like, well, they don't normally do that. Yeah, but when it's this caliber of a match and when it's this kind of stake,
right,
they tend to have a little bit extra officiating type stuff go on. So this is not new. This is still consistency with them. It's just something we don't see a lot of.
We
don't get this spot a lot, but when WWE does this spot, they're very consistent with it.
Yeah, and also, like...
And the other referee, by the way, didn't cause a distraction by any means. He just ran in there and stopped something from happening. Which, by the way, again, the crowd liked that they weren't given just a throwaway on a big show. So yes, folks, even WWE can give you what you want on a big show. It's just they have so many extra big shows that they build so much on what is considered a big show.
They just have so many pay-per-views.
Exactly.
That you have to know what's the big show.
If we were down to just 6 a year, I would think that more and more of that kind of stuff wouldn't be a big deal. But because we're told that it's a premium event, we're expecting blow-offs and we get continuations, it's a little bit annoying because of how many shows.
Well, like I tell people, know your big five, your new big five: WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, Money in the Bank. Those are your big five. Those are when they're going to switch how they do their stories.
Yes.
Just know that.
Yeah.
Everything else, if you know you don't want to see a continuation of a story, just know that when it comes up on TV, go take your dookie because it's about to come up on TV.
Exactly.
There we go.
But otherwise,
this was so good.
I thought this was really good.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see what happens next as far as Braun's concerned, because here's why I didn't like the fact that Joe Gacy didn't win.
Yeah.
Who is the next contender?
To use your boy Goldberg's, who's next?
Fuck him. But who's the next contender?
Well, but that's why I'm saying I don't think Gacy's done.
Right.
Gacy had to take so much to end this.
Right.
And it had to have been built so big that I don't think Gacy's done.
Right.
And his character lends it. By the way, everyone thought that Bray Wyatt doing the spider thing in the corner was creepy. Joe Gacy has an amazing equilibrium to do that shit upside down that he did in that corner.
You know, and
that
I
was
think
incredible.
And I think with this,
he doesn't look that athletic.
It's just because they're as I like to say, the thick boys. So when you see that kind of athleticism and flexibility, it's a little freaky.
Yeah. No, I think they could step away from Gacy for the moment with Braun, and he could.
But with who? You
You
got to give me a contender. You can't just be Tony here and toss out Goto.
Omni-
No offense to you, man, Hiroki. I love me some Goto.
We'll get to that.
The idiot got his head shaved that beat him by technicality. What's his name?
Jericho? Oh, wait.
No.
Hasn't happened yet. Sorry.
No.
Duke Hudson?
Yeah. I mean,
well, there was a little something there.
There was a little something there. He did. He did win a match.
Well, but
technically,
Duke reportedly does have some off-camera issues that he's going to have to be dealing with. Reportedly,
so
that will be dealing with.
He could say.
I'm not going into it because that's not a topic for us right now.
Right.
But
and that could be a simple one where it would just be on a simple Tuesday night with it. Hey, I did technically beat you, and then Brock goes, really, come on, Braun goes, come on, I will beat you, and he beats his ass,
right?
Going like that, and then I don't know who else could step up. I mean, Cameron Grimes, possibly.
I'm with Jesse. The North American title picture is going to go on until
they're going to keep going with them
until after SummerSlam, where they bring one or two of them up.
And honestly, I can't think of anybody else that would. Possibly,
I'm more convinced
Duke as an in-between feud is not the worst idea.
But I'm more convinced now than ever that Joe Gacy will be champion at some point.
Yeah,
taking it from Braun. I'm more convinced of that.
Yeah, they could.
I'm not gonna lie. You know what the thought is pissing me off, even though I just gave that gimmick credit earlier.
Yeah.
It'll be Tony D'Angelo. And
I could be.
The thought pisses me off a little bit.
No, I get it. Because you go because I feel like
because here's the thing. Now we would be getting into Bullet Club, Torture Club kind of shit because there's so many people now within the family that there's going to be massive interference to kind of protect Braun's laws.
Yeah,
and it's going to remind me so much of Torture Club that I might have to fly to the pay-per-view.
Well, speaking of club,
and beat up a 66-year-old man.
Speaking of club, Jesse, Bullet Club's got a new member.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Austin Ace.
Ace Austin.
Thank you. There's so many wrestlers out there that I'm just going to forget names. I apologize, people. Confusing.
It's interesting. In the last 5 years, I think the only person that you haven't been confused off from the word go was Chris Bay.
He fit. Now he doesn't. Now he's half and half.
Right. But at first he fit.
Ace Austin. I always thought he was the Jay White type, and I hate to say it, but the King already exists.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, I did love the match. I'm not really in love with the thought of because we don't want to bring Braun up too soon.
Right.
That now we're doing filler feuds which don't need to happen.
Right. Well, see, that's the interesting thing for me, Jesse, is I recently just watched, and I actually want to plug it right here on the show. I recently just watched the documentary Raj Against the Machine, which was the Bloodywood story of their journey from YouTube to Vakken.
Right.
Now there was one show after Vakken, but I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And what was interesting was they really, before they went on tour, played a lot of ghost shows.
Right.
But got a lot of the stuff out. But
right.
It's one of those things where, like, Jesse, there's a fine line between ghost shows and just finally getting up on a stage. You know this as well as I do. You can rehearse it as many times as possible.
Right.
You don't know what's going to happen until you finally get in front of the live crowd.
Right. Yeah, it's an interesting thing.
Go watch the documentary, by the way, folks.
It's really good.
Bloodywood, fantastic.
It's actually really good.
Yeah.
Great
guys too. A lot of good.
Yeah.
Really good guys.
I will be interested to see the next 2 months.
Yeah.
Because of course SummerSlam is late August.
Yeah.
Which right now they only have a Saturday show, so I'm kind of I don't know what they're gonna do there, but
yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see, but because like I said, I thought this was a good chance to do a feud where he loses the championship, and then he has to try to fight his way back, or he has to fight his way to get it again.
Yeah.
from a heel with this insurmountable thing in his head. So,
Right.
but overall, after watching the show, I gave it a fuck it. I'll just go to a 4.
I gave it a 4.
I'll give it a 4.
I gave it a solid 4.
Definitely.
It was a very strong 4 show.
I think they'll have some good stories coming out. The Tony D'Angelo having the 3 more guys in his family.
Well, 4. You're forgetting.
Oh yeah,
Elektra
and
Lopez.
okay, 3 gentlemen and a lady.
Yes.
Adding
She
to
ain't
the
gonna
family.
be there for long.
No.
She would probably not. But I mean, that continuing story of where that's going to go, because
I just want to
it's
say
going to
this.
be interesting.
I just want to say
She just lost on NXT 2.0 on Tuesday, didn't she?
Elektra Lopez.
Yeah. Did she just lose to Roxy?
No.
No.
No, she wasn't in the tournament. Roxy's still in the tournament.
I thought she lost to someone. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, look it up. But anyway, no. What I think will be really, I just want to point out this. I think the moment of the night actually was the loss in the first match because, Santos Escobar sold that loss like my life is over. Like, I mean, that guy's facial reaction to losing, he literally stone-faced froze like, oh shit, this is actually happening.
Yeah.
They
are now stuck in the family.
Well, see, as I was looking at that, I'm like, I was looking at both sides, how it goes. Like, well, they're kind of pushing Tony. They can't have him be Escobar's lackey, but then Escobar being Tony, I'm like, that fits better because he's gonna. I think story.
Escobar will go babyface.
Let's just say it.
And their team was kind of was a babyface team of the night.
I'm just gonna predict it now. It's Funky Love. Let's deal with some racial Mexican stereotypes for a couple of weeks, and then we'll move on. Jesse knows it's coming. That's why he's crying right now. He knows it's coming.
They're gonna mow some lawn, wash some windows.
Pretty much, yeah. It's exactly what's gonna happen.
Fucking stand
clean
outside
the pool.
a hardware store and you don't know why.
Yeah, it's exactly what's
sell
gonna
some
happen.
oranges, clean the pool.
Fucking hate these two guys.
That's
All right.
exactly what's gonna happen.
If they show that boat again, if they get on that boat, that's a fucking nice boat.
I hate these two motherfuckers so bad.
Well, hey, no, if they're going on that
You're
boat,
mad
that's
at them
pretty
for
nice
stuff
boat.
that hasn't even happened because
but,
you know it's
but
gonna happen.
you know it's gonna happen.
You know it's gonna happen.
Like, that's the worst part of WWE. Sometimes you're like, man, this is so good, and then you remember who's kissing Vince's ass, and you're like, this is gonna get worse.
This is gonna get so bad.
Damn.
All right.
Yes.
To get a couple of things out of the way, because yes, folks, they will dominate the majority of the show because God, they dominated the last week. Our condolences to Mr. Matt Cardona. He is required surgery on the torn bicep. No word on what's going to happen to all of the championships he holds. He recently just lost the social media belt in Impact. So
he was talking so much shit too. I'm a be at GCW. I'm gonna be at NWA, and then Billy Corgan kind of released a thing saying like, I have not decided what to do yet on that, but he will not be at the NWA.
And he was.
And I love Matt, but go ahead.
There was it Bridge City, whatever, that was in Wisconsin.
Bridge City Wrestling.
He did show up. He was going to perform, but because of injury, he did show up, make an appearance in there, which was really nice. I'm glad he was able to do that.
He's still going to make appearances, but you're not going to see him in ring for a while. That's not going to be happening.
Smart bookers will protect him from himself.
Yeah.
Show up.
Yeah.
But you ain't wrestling. I wouldn't be shocked if he's forced to relinquish championships.
Yeah.
Because then that's a really cool story from whenever he comes back.
Well, not only that,
Yeah.
well, not only that, Jesse, but Billy's a different story because of his roster. But a lot of these promoters have to protect their interests. They just have to. And folks, I know Vince always gets in trouble for the same thing that every promoter does around the world. But they have to protect their own interests, and even though some of the roster sometimes gets a little offended by it, it is for the betterment of the guys who show up each and every week.
Yeah, somebody's injured,
so
they can't defend that title.
And you know what?
You
Let's
got to
send
find
some
a new champion.
condolences
To who?
to Ricochet. I told you, motherfuckers, it was coming.
Ricochet about to die.
Ricochet's gonna die next week.
Ricochet's gonna die.
You thought I was gonna say CM Punk. We'll get to him.
I know,
but no. Ricochet's gonna die live next Friday.
You think it's gonna be a total squash?
I think it might be. Yeah.
Yes, because here's the deal: Ricochet has gotten to where he wanted to. He's once again adapted to the mold, adapted to the style.
Right.
He's going to Ricochet. We love.
Oh, God, I
But
love him.
Ricochet is, regardless of what anyone wants to admit, Jesse will say this was kind of him on the indies for a while anyway. He's the guy who has to be a chaser.
Right.
He has, being the guy, it's, unless he is booked beyond perfect, which is hard to do because of his style
it's impossible to do.
and his personality. Unless he's booked perfect, he's a chaser. He's a Dusty style guy. He has to chase something because the pop of first winning is going to be bigger. Because here's the deal. Vince, people think he's been booked shitty as the champ. No, he's been booked like the guy that he is. Vince saw this long before the rest of the people saw it, and they're angry that he's booking the Intercontinental. No, he's booking the guy.
Yeah,
the
not
way
the
that
title.
he is. He just happened to have added the Intercontinental title in the middle. Ricochet is not being punished. Ricochet knows how the business works. He's clearly shown up, and as Jesse has reported on numerous occasions, all insider reports show the guy clearly is cool with what he's doing.
Yeah.
He
no
gets
problem.
it.
What I see, the biggest thing people have a problem with is the Intercontinental title has not been defended on a pay-per-view for so long.
And I bet if you
That's
went
what
back in the
their
annals of wrestling
butt
history,
hurts.
Jesse could look at the original North American title in NWA. Jesse could look at the Florida Championships. Jesse could probably find a bunch of like prestigious old school titles that also weren't performed on the big show for a while.
Right.
That's just how it goes, folks.
But
it
it's
doesn't
like-
matter if you ran 5 shows a night, a week back in the territory days before you had like a Starrcade blow-off. There's only a limited amount of time for everything that was out in these days. And Jesse, we have to admit, some of those older territories, few too many titles, even more than Vince had. Like, I mean, some of those places had a few too many championships.
Well, I think this, it's going to be kind of a
I got
squash
an argument
on Friday for the title win for
there. Right.
the ring general Gunther. I mean
The
that.
Ring General.
Okay, sorry, the ring general.
Do you want Mr. Kaiser Roll to come after you?
I like,
Ludwig will come after you.
I like some Kaiser
I
rolls.
fear the ass beating
That Ludwig will give you.
that Ricochet's about to
Well, there's that
receive.
too. There's that too. That's
But
gonna hurt.
I think this would be good. I mean, honestly, I think that might be a featured match at SummerSlam. Ricochet and Gunther.
Well, but we said it before.
I think that'd be a really good
We
one
said
for
it
SummerSlam.
before. To make Walter legitimate for when they finally push him as the top heel in the company, because they will at some point. They have been so high on this guy for
Right.
so long. People can question whatever I'm saying. He's been one of the most protected guys in all of wrestling over the last 5
God,
years.
yeah.
To really build him there, he needs some legitimacy, and the Intercontinental title is going to do that.
Yes, I am so much looking forward to seeing him with the Intercontinental title.
Yes.
And his lovely Kaiser roll dude.
Everyone,
I'm sorry.
Everyone, no, it's okay. To be honest, they changed his name without really telling anyone because it was Ludwig, but everyone said Ludwig that they just decided to change it to Ludwig because they just went with what everybody else was saying.
It's like Wig.
Also,
Oh,
I'm pretty
all right.
sure the SmackDown commentating team was saying Ludwig, and they were just like, "All right, we'll go with it."
Yeah.
To be honest, I think they've been fucking it up because they don't know.
Yeah, no,
I think they just genuinely don't know what to call him.
Yep.
And so when they read the name, they genuinely screw it up because they're like, Ludwig.
Also, most recent reports, by the way, out there are saying that Big E is not in the territory of we have to start a like major plan B. He's still kind of on track. It's just not as quickly as they were hoping, and they're trying some stuff early to hopefully avoid future issues. So
Yeah, definitely.
as of
We
right
don't
now,
want that.
there is no timetable for a return at all, but nothing has hit nuclear options yet.
Uh-huh.
Which is arguably the best thing you can hear right now.
I said, yeah,
that's-
we got a few injuries in
Yep.
WWE. We got a few injuries in AEW.
So
you know.
Jesse, I
and
now
all
have
that,
to ask
so-
you and Leroy, how are we gonna do the next subject? Should we just do it in chronological, or should we go shit sandwich, the good, the bad, the other? Like, how are we supposed to give our friends over at Spot Monkey the proper week that they had?
So before we do that,
Wow.
let's get a couple things out the way real quick.
Okay.
Because I will not remember to get the chance to do this after that fucking abomination of a pay-per-view that was saved by a few matches.
To
at the
quote
end.
to
That's
quote
true,
Gene,
yeah.
take the last, let's say, 3 matches that it stopped.
Two.
Okay.
2.5.
Okay, as Gene said, the last half of this pay-per-view saved it from being the worst pay-per-view they've ever done. And that bar is high in the worst way.
They gotta
Not
have
as high as Tony, but it's high.
They have to have a good pay-per-view
Jesse, go
like
ahead.
they had on Saturday because I didn't have time to go poop because I was enjoying the whole show.
You could have shit through the entire first half of Double or Nothing.
What would have helped
That's
you
true.
shit, sir, was Haitian Heat, brought to you by Al Sands. Haitian Heat is locally made right here in the Duluth, Minnesota / Superior, Wisconsin area.
Recently, we just had Al Sands Day.
Yes.
Given to him by
proclamation made on
That was
Friday?
February. That was just last week.
That was just
I
last
believe,
week.
isn't it February 18th?
I think
Is
so.
the day? I believe so.
We're gonna
We
look
do
that
have
up.
to get in
So
contact
we're
with.
gonna look that up and get confirmation, but
But a good old Haitian Heat.
He also, by the way, has
a new match.
He has another international fight coming.
yes,
He does.
Yes, he does.
Isn't it over in England
No.
or is it somewhere else?
Actually, we'll have to get him on the show to promote his fight.
We do
Yeah.
have to get him
Yeah.
on the show because we
Jesse's
got
gonna
a
hit
lot
him
to
up.
talk about.
Jesse's gonna
I'll
hit him up.
Definitely hit him up so we can get him on.
By the way, I just want to point something out. Here's how savvy this man is. Puts a picture of his darling baby girl.
Yes.
And there's still a. And by the way, what's around her? A bottle of hot sauce.
So there are 5 hot sauces and 2 barbecue sauces, all made with natural ingredients. So when you put on this hot sauce and you put it on your food, you are not just getting the kick, but you are actually getting the natural flavor of the pepper, because as people don't realize is when you kind of get rid of the seeds of a pepper, the pepper is actually a very sweet vegetable. So anytime you can get that flavor, and you can also use it as a marinade, it is
God,
so
yes.
good. We literally put it on everything. And the barbecue sauce is very thickly made. The hickory is so good. So once again, that is facebook.com/Haitian Heat. Remember, when you are putting in your order.
February 18th will officially be known as Alexander Sands Day.
Yes.
All right.
Duluth, Minnesota.
I will celebrate that proudly.
By whooping someone's ass.
Yep.
So once again,
And
that
eating
is-
some hot sauce.
That's right. So facebook.com/Haitian Heat. Make sure you go get your order today. I mean, also, say you want to go on vacation this summer.
Yes.
Well, then you
need
should
something made, don't
make
ya?
sure you check out Dark Arts Entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
Zach, tell them more about Dark Arts
Should
Entertainment.
I? Because you know
Yeah.
what? I think I should.
Yes.
I think you should.
I honestly think I
All
should.
right.
Dark Arts Entertainment presents live pro wrestling monthly at the Super Beast Training Compound located in the Arts District of Sin City, Las Vegas. A hybrid of pro wrestling with an underground feel. Dark Arts Entertainment shows also include live band, sideshow entertainment, food, beer, and what's the more, Jesse?
420 friendly.
Yeah.
Come see top talent and matchups you won't find in any other promotion in Vegas. And as Jesse has pointed out, they get a lot of their guys from the Southern California area.
Correct.
For more information or to get tickets, head over to darkartsvegas.com or grab the official mobile app from the App Store for either iOS or Android today.
And if you're ever having trouble with the app, make sure you message them on a Facebook or Twitter. They do respond, and they would love to answer any customer service questions you have.
And also, folks,
table.
it is the summertime.
There's just some.
It is
It says
a
it on the
very
table.
busy time of
Yes,
the
it
year.
is. Yes,
And you
it
know
is.
what?
The table
You
that I
also
cleaned
maybe
up.
want to be having some family
Very nice.
reunions. There's grad parties, all those
There we
things.
go, yeah.
In the Minnesota, Wisconsin area, if you are looking for a fun and personal photo experience to remember these, Lux PB is your premier picture and 360 spin in video booth rental company choice. To book a photo
visit.
booth, please visit the website at www.luksphotobooth.com. My boy Junior's over there running that.
Yeah.
Hard-working man, also black-owned as well. We should
Yes.
make sure to fit that in there.
Haitian
Oh,
Heat
right.
and both photo
Yep.
are black owned. Yes.
Love.
So
Wonderful.
Yep. So definitely, we're looking forward to that. And of course, obviously, we're just gonna get it. Kayla Moorhead over there at Handmade Mama.
Yes.
Summer, get some fun stuff for the kids.
Because, like we say, she doesn't just do the winter wear, which is amazing, by the
Oh,
way.
yes.
But she also does summer wear. So make sure you put in your requests. Once again, made right here in the area where we're from in Duluth, Minnesota, Superior, Wisconsin. And once again, she's also very good with customer service.
Yes,
She will
incredible.
get back to you about your order.
And you know
All right.
what? And if you're doing all that running around, you know what you should do? Stream very carefully. Either us or our buddies at Battle Draft Podcast also.
Anthony, and and his bro Adam.
That's right.
They're over there. It's been a great show for those guys. Anthony currently quote eloping but planned, getting married over there in the wonderful world of Ireland, and also seeing the sights of that show that I won't mention because let's be honest, the last season ruined everything. Yeah, folks. Guess what? It was Lord of the Rings, but it wasn't good. Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, definitely follow us on Podomatic and follow them on, and then get alerts when both of our shows are on.
Sorry, George, but the best thing you ever did was Elden Ring. Anyway.
There we go.
And on Tuesday, you can catch our buddy Cal.
Yep.
In his podcast live on Facebook. And on Fridays, you can catch a good buddy of ours, Jaron, in his podcast live on Facebook at 7 p.m. Jaron also does custom dolls. If you've ever been to a local Minnesota show here, you've seen Jaron with the wrestlers. Great guy, very good human being, and very creative. Love his content.
Have we hit him up to get on here at some point?
You know, we got to have Jaron on the show. I have hit him up. I know he said he's usually busy Sundays, but we'll figure something out.
Okay, yeah.
He makes custom dolls?
He makes custom figures / dolls that are either well-known wrestlers or local wrestlers.
And what's really funny is he's not in the red with the doll making.
Wow.
And that gets us to these fucking idiots at AEW. Now, it's funny.
We should make one of us,
Jesse.
I don't know.
We could shit sandwich this. We could reverse shit. Like there's so much to delve into.
AEW.
And we still have to preview tonight's show.
Oh.
Holy crap, Leroy! Keep us under 4 hours, will you? All right.
Well, we're just at an hour, so
all right.
So we're doing good so far.
All right. So we're
Do you have the results?
Do you have the
of
results of this abomination?
We did the results last week.
The show was last week.
The show was last week. We previewed the show.
We previewed it.
You got double or nothing results?
Hold, give me a second.
All right. So before
give me about 2 seconds.
Before
I'll
we
get
into
it.
this, Jesse.
I got too much.
We're
going
gonna do something that we don't normally do. We're gonna preview the whole segment. Was this arguably maybe one of the worst weeks they've ever had?
I will say this overall. The week ended better than it started.
Which is weird because it started with the emotional moments and ended with Although Jesse, you've said before we were going to start the show with you doing something here, but everything changed because something changed.
All right,
Jesse,
the AEW Nation attack. That's what changed.
Yeah, but anyway, Jesse, this might have been the best thing that happened to them when it comes to the summer of you-know-who problem that we're going to get to. Not that we wish injury upon the man.
So before we get to the pay-per-view, let's start with we do here at 13 Cards wish CM Punk a speedy recovery.
We do.
It's terrible to get injured. We'll get into what happened and how it happened. But before we fucking do, let's start with the MJF situation because we have to start with the MJF situation.
Do you want to mention what happened at the pay-per-view or just go right into it?
I'm gonna start from what happened Friday. So
okay, go ahead.
Friday before the show.
Last Friday, not
last
this
Friday.
Yeah,
not this past Friday, but the Friday before.
Yeah.
There were reports that Tony Khan and MJF tried to meet to very bad results.
Horrible results.
As soon as I believe 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, it was reported because they did a fan fest.
Yes.
The day before the show in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Oh, no, it was Vegas.
They were in Vegas, yes.
Double or Nothing, of course.
Yeah.
That he was so upset that everyone that was trying to get a hold of him.
There was also a deleted tweet. There was also we'll get into that because I'm getting to the timeline.
Yeah. The fan fest happens. He does not show up. Okay, now there was a thought for a second that maybe this was just simply just a deal where, like, you know, it was just like Samoa Joe, where there was a miscommunication because they had booked Joe for some earlier stuff.
That was like a double booking.
Right. They accidentally double booked Joe. But that was not the situation as we got to, I believe it was like 5 p.m. Eastern time. Or maybe it might have been 5 p.m. West Coast time.
Mm-hmm.
And the reports came out that MJF had booked a flight back to New Jersey, where he's from. or where he lives. He's not from the.
Yeah.
He's from the East Coast, but he's not from Jersey. Booked a flight back to Jersey, and was thinking about getting on that flight. Speaking of Cal, thank you for popping in, Cal. That's the name of his podcast, Friends of the Squared Circle. Zach's never looked better. Zach always looks better when he's blocked out.
Exactly.
I know. If we had a picture of his lovely soon-to-be wife on there, that'd be even better.
Oh yeah.
But we probably would keep that the whole show.
I'll have to work on that as his avatar.
There we go.
There you go.
And then people will be like, no, keep his face
Just keep
off.
the avatar on the whole time. We can just listen to his voice.
I still
and
get
that's
shit
it.
for doing the PWL podcast, and I was using Allison's Zoom at the time, so it was just her name the whole time.
Oh, you did that?
Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, that's funny. You know you can change that name.
Yeah, I know.
You know it's real easy.
Yeah, but here's the deal.
Were you being lazy?
No. You don't have to answer to her. I do. So if I change it and forget, I'm in trouble. I just avoid situations. I don't try.
Well, you can easily change it back.
And Cal said, now we're going to lose views now that he's back. I agree. So, you're absolutely right.
Well, hey,
That's
my ugly mug is still on here right now, and we're still getting views.
By the way, guys, that's actually their YouTube channel, so go subscribe to Friends of the Squared Circle. That is Cal's podcast. So we get the report about him wanting to get on the flight. Like I said, it was about 5 p.m. West Coast time, so it was probably about 7 East Coast. Because I remember it was like 6:30 here where Sean Ross Sapp started reporting that. And
yeah, it wasn't like 6.
It was like 6,
between 6
6:30.
and 7. It was getting
And
hit
so-
up really bad.
And so we get that report, and then there was nothing for quite a few hours. Before there was nothing, there was a tweet. I can't remember who MJF was responding to, but MJF said, fuck this, fuck you guys, LOL, this is bullshit. But then he deleted the tweet. Like I said, I can't remember the tweet. If you guys do, let me know.
Fuck this guy, LOL.
Something.
I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah, something like that. We get to Sunday. There is word by 8 a.m. West Coast time, so it was about 10 a.m. here. He not only had not got on that flight, but they still haven't heard from him, but he had not gotten on that flight. And I said when we got on air that day, he's going to do the job. He's at least a professional.
Well,
I don't know what's going to happen afterwards.
Well, okay, so not to jump ahead in your timeline, but I was talking to Corey and Sean Ross, SRS, Sean Ross Sapp did report that, okay.
See you tonight, Kyle.
Despite what MJF is, Max has always been professional.
Right.
So I agree with that. I think a lot of it is now a work in the sense of, and we'll get into more once we get to the timeline, but Max would not no-show something. He would not no-show Adam. So he was clearly going to do the job, but that's when Tony started to realize, okay, this is a problem. It took until the Fan Fest for Tony to wake up. But anyway.
So here's the deal, and by the way, the more I read, the more I actually don't think what happened on Wednesday was quote-unquote full work. I actually think they just let him go get his shit out, and I'll explain.
Okay, yeah.
And like I said, people, once again, that is Cal from Friends of the Square Circle. Make sure that I put his comment up. Make sure you go and subscribe to him.
Drop him a sub.
Here's the deal. So the show comes up. They moved this match because originally this was not going to open their show. This was going to be on the second half of the show.
Yeah.
But they move it up. First sign that I don't think Wednesday was at work. And MJF literally does the job. He takes an ass whooping, takes the 10 power bombs, puts over Adam Warlow, does the whole getting carted out thing, does the job, and did it beautifully.
Yep.
And left almost immediately after that.
The next report we get, right, because he did.
Yeah.
The next report we get is technically Tuesday. People don't talk about this report, but it was said that originally he had told Tony Khan, I'm not showing up on Wednesday.
No.
I'm not showing up on Wednesday. Maybe we'll hash something out next week, but I'm not showing up on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Then it was reported Wednesday morning that MJF was going to be on the show. What I got from some of the sources that I found was that he was basically told, you're going to be given a free mic.
Well, what I remember hearing Corey say from Sean was basically, like I said, and this is okay, credit to Tony for finally realizing there was a problem, but dude, it took a literal nuclear bomb in your own house for you to figure this out. That apparently he and Max stayed over in Vegas on Monday, had a meeting. We don't know if that meeting led to a contract or if that meeting has led to we're cool for now. But again, the professionalism of Max is that he always makes the fan fests. He always does this. He always does that. So when he skipped that, that's what it took for Tony to all of a sudden be like, well, shit, I screwed up.
So here's the thing.
Which is like, yeah, you screwed up a long time ago.
That meeting was not in person from what I hear.
Okay.
That meeting was over the phone.
Okay.
Because apparently the rumored report is that he literally told him as he was leaving on Sunday, no, I'm seriously not coming on Wednesday. Like, it does not matter. I'm not gonna be there.
And with the results of the match, I would let it slide that he wouldn't be there, sell the injury, stuff like that, which would be fine.
Right. Now we get to Wednesday.
Yeah.
So he comes out on television.
I'll be honest before you get in. I'll be honest after it. I felt it's all now a work because, in my opinion, ever since Punk, no one is dumb enough to agree to just give someone a live mic. There were also Warner Media executives in the front row, and I don't think they would have been okay with it. That's how I feel about it, Jesse. I think, in my opinion right now, I'm leaning more 60-40 he's staying. You and I have obviously different opinions on that. I'm going to let you now describe what happened, but I'm just trying to get that with, yeah.
So as I went and found out, or rumored found out, and like I said, these things keep coming true, and I hate that every time I go to these sources that these things keep coming true.
Wait till we get to the pay-per-view.
Right. But it further lets me know that this site that I'm usually on, these are actually people inside these companies that are talking.
Yeah.
Is that he was given a live mic, but with rules. So they wanted to know how much he was gonna swear.
Yep.
They wanted to know how much, he was going to say about the ex-WWE guys. Tony, of course, allowed the WWE talk because he's Tony Khan, and he feels like if I do that, then I'm above WWE, but you're not.
No. At least Vince is consistent and didn't even react to any of this.
Right. Well, no one in WWE really did. So, and then he was told, you're going to have about 12 minutes, right?
Yeah.
So that's a very real moment when he's being counted down on.
Yeah.
When he starts swearing at the producer, that's a very real moment because they were telling him, like, all right, well, the 12 minutes is up, man. We hope you got everything out. Like, we're going to go to commercial.
And then there was the fan video that Punk had come out.
Right.
And that Max had basically just gone through the crowd at that point.
That was not a work.
No.
So it's been confirmed,
you
from
could
the
tell
boys,
Phil was just confused.
The boys in the back, as they're listening.
It's funny that Punk was the one to do it because it's
right.
Because like to quote you from WWE television, you're the guy who made walking out look cool.
It's totally his fucking fault, by the way.
Yep. But we have a lot to talk about with Mr. Brooks later on.
But they were. Because the only guys who were in the know about what he was going to say were the Bucks. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, no one else knew what
the Bucks
might say. Yeah.
Why the? I don't want to know.
Because regardless,
like I said when Cody left, they clearly have Tony's ear.
Yeah.
And you want to know why they have Tony's ear? Little sidetrack tangent here.
And maybe fondle his balls as possible.
Well, there's that.
Yes.
Hey, man, he might be fondling theirs for the 8-ball. They're from Southern Cal. Anyway.
That is true.
Anyway,
yeah, that is true.
No, little side thing. So here's the deal. You think about the promo, all that hoarded money Bro, I get labeled constantly as a hater of the company. Jesse has been saying a lot of the same things, but once again, you're still on the inner circle because you were at least willing to give them a chance a little longer than I was.
Right.
It's weird because, again, we say the same thing now, but nobody gets mad at you when you say it, but I'm the one that gets the heat for it. Oh, wait, I have the longest running heat because I've said it from fucking day one that this is some horse shit. Even though, again, Jesse and I were the opposite of what we are now, which is really weird.
Right.
But anyway, Leroy, you want to know why they're still in charge? Tony Khan, people get mad at me when I get at TK, but I only get at what you fucking say, bro. You said, and I quote, I have more money than Vince McMahon. We all know you don't. Daddy does. You paid $40 million for a company that at the most was worth $8 million. Don't give me this shit that I'm not in business to know. There was no way that something with no assets, $40 million. What the hell is he buying, Playboy?
Right.
And
no.
Anyway, bro, here's the moment I realized you're full of shit. The Bucks were in a little company that's made some big moves in the last few years. They're called Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
Yeah.
They had a faction which had them, a current star, and someone who was a star but decided not to go to the barber's chair. They were called, Jesse,
Bullet Club.
Mount Rushmore.
Oh yeah, Mount Rushmore. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, here's the deal.
I'm so tired. I wasn't sure what timeline he was at.
That's
okay.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal. The man who we all thought was destined to be all elite.
Yeah.
Where is he, Jesse? Where is the man that we thought was destined to be all elite? Him and his friend, by the way.
They're still in WWE.
They're still in WWE. Okay, so let me get this straight. It was reported that you didn't have the money or you weren't willing to match the offer that WWE gave to Kevin fucking Steen?
Right.
Are you kidding me? He owns his
Right.
name, by the way.
Yes, he does.
He owns his real name.
Yes, he does.
So, in that moment, I realized, hold on. Jesse hates being right.
I do.
I keep being right. Wait a second, Jesse.
God,
Who was the guy?
am I the one that loves being right?
I hate being right because
It always leads to a bad result.
Right.
But Jesse,
Okay,
Jesse,
all right.
who was the guy cutting the promos in Mount Rushmore? Who was the dude who was the king of the Indies?
that would be Kevin Steen.
Kevin Steen, now known as Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Bucks, Leroy, know he's a bigger star, both then and now. Of course they probably put and you know what? Kevin doesn't care because he's all about himself, which is nothing wrong with that. At least he admits it.
Right.
He's about himself, his kids, and his wife. Doesn't give a shit about anybody else.
Right.
Maybe Sammy. But here's the deal. They pulled him aside during this negotiation or whatever you want to call it, and were like, yeah, Tony, I think that number's a little too high. I don't know if Kev can bring in that. First of all, $3 million Kevin Steen's selling in merchandise alone. End of conversation.
I'm certain
yeah.
of it.
So,
I don't know how many Owens fight shirts you see.
but Jesse,
A lot.
But Jesse, am I wrong? They went to Tony and they said he's not worth it. You said you had the money to sign whoever you wanted.
Right. Right.
Kevin Owens wasn't worth the money?
And
Kevin
all,
Owens!
and all the other people they signed was worth the money.
And I bet you they were like, well, he just had both knees redone. Didn't stop WWE from upping the price.
No.
Well, Tony, he hasn't worked this style for a while. Didn't stop WWE from upping the price because he's
Right.
clearly adapted just fine.
Right.
Also, I watched a lot of Steen and I've watched a lot of Owens. Not a lot of difference.
It's a little bit cleaner now.
Not as many big spots, but
Yeah.
WWE's known for that.
Right.
But it's just, you guys are shady little fuckers that you took one of your best buds,
They are.
who, by the way, introduced you to Cody, got you to Tony Khan's
Right.
office. You know what? You shady fucks probably did what I just said. It's probably true that you went to
Oh,
TK and you said
1,000%.
he's just not worth the money.
They're still trying to bank off their Kenny Omega fucking friendship, but now that he might have fucked his own career,
Vince knows, as we'll report later with Hell in a Cell, with a possible injury to
Kenny should just go to WWE.
Well, there's that. But anyway,
go make $2.5 million. Go work part time.
They'll put you in a better video
There you
game.
go.
Anyway,
You can still go visit Japan and have sex
Well-
with as many 16-year-old girls as you. Did I just say that out loud? My bad.
Wow.
My bad.
all right.
We
Continue.
don't. Yeah, we don't. Condone
I'm sorry.
Different culture.
that comment.
Different culture.
Different culture.
Different culture.
But anyway,
different culture.
but anyway,
I
you-
will bury a guy in a freaking swamp for that shit.
I know. But here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. It's probably.
So I had to stop myself.
I know. It's probably real. Tony.
Oh,
Tony.
you want some deviled eggs, guys?
No, I'm good.
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, you guys.
Tony.
I may
where,
be bad.
So Tony,
They're good.
Where is this
The X
money
made 'em, but it's
that
still good.
Max isn't getting?
Right.
Where is this money, Tony? Of I can sign anyone I want. Which, by the way, the interview with your boy Van Fleet of Joey Janela was very eye-opening. Surprisingly,
Yeah, it really was.
That was incredibly eye-opening.
Oh, I didn't. That was the one where he was talking about his foot made on fire.
The one before that.
Okay.
Actually, it might be the same one.
Was that the same interview?
It might be the same one.
Okay, the clip just got out late.
I gotta be honest. I didn't know Joey to be so insightful. Yeah, go watch the interview.
The character does not lend itself to the person. That's all I gotta say.
The person is actually better than you think he is.
Yeah, it's really yeah. I know.
Character just sucks.
The character has always just been like, well, this is just kind of fun indie hardcore shit. Okay.
I was actually riveted by Joey, which by the way, again, Jesse,
I'm
I
about to
never
say,
thought I would be.
I used to love Joey in his indie days, and then like I said, he started doing some of the stuff with the boy who got caught in the Me Too movement, deservedly so.
Yeah.
You know, the one that they took Chris Statlander was it at Dynamite for because she was defending a useless title. I shouldn't say useless, but she was defending the title in Colorado instead of being on the marquee programming that's paying her more money.
Well,
I digress.
Working for a useless gentleman.
I'm not
cares?
saying his name.
We don't.
JR. Let's just say it's J and it's R and it's not good old JR. But he was very insightful about like how the inner workings of the backstage works in AEW, and I was just shocked because he didn't put it in a disrespectful way.
Not at all.
He
but
put it in a very informative way.
But you want to know what's weird? Weird? He confirmed a lot of
Yes, he
things that
did.
people thought. But anyway, so but no, no, the MJF situation, like Jesse has said, and there's so much information about it, it's hard to tell. But Jesse's right, in my opinion. I think that there's a now 50% chance on each side whether he stays or goes. It might have flipped. Jesse may not believe it, but in my opinion, it's 50-50 because, like Jesse said, he said a lot. There was a meeting where he was like, okay, let me do this job. But what really was solved?
Nothing.
Nothing's been resolved because, Jesse, call me crazy, I don't think money can fix this.
I guess so.
Unless he's about to pay him the first ever $10 million wrestling contract a year.
I mean,
Like
the
a-
highest paid wrestler
of
in the
all
world.
time.
I don't see that happening.
Unless MJF's about to get a deal that literally, well, not to mention the fact Tony can't do it because it's going to piss off the 150 wrestlers he has that aren't even going to get paid half of what MJF is going to get. 1/5 if it's as high as I just
Well,
said.
what's funny in that promo was it's not like he wasn't right.
No. He said everything that the entire internet's been saying for the last few years. And what was funny was Jesse, he had the fans in the palm of his hands because they oohed and awed right where he wanted them to.
Yeah.
They did every, and you know what's funny? Now Jesse might get to his rant about the smarks of AEW because you guys, you played yourselves. The guy who basically told all of you, fuck the company that you love and support because the freaking guy that you worship is an idiot. He told you all to go fuck yourselves. And once again, much like, because, hey, Tony, do me a favor. Since you're funding the indies, could you pay Johnny Depp off? Because Amber Heard needs work. But just like hire her to come take a shit in the middle of the ring. And as long as the Bucks are somehow there to clap, you're all going to clap. Jesse, they ate out of the palm of his hand, and he was telling them to go fuck themselves.
She wouldn't be a bad hire.
Little
Natural heel.
Little dookie in the middle of the ring.
You know. Nobody likes her.
No, not a person.
Probably not going to get any major movie work anytime soon.
Yeah, the sad part about it is there are actually
just on
still some
Pornhub.
friends she has in Hollywood that have fairly good connections.
Well, she'll get, like I tell people, she'll get indie work.
Yeah.
She'll get small film work. That's not going to be the issue for her.
Reports are she's out of Aquaman.
I don't think she is.
I think she's probably in there, but not as much.
Justin Lin had already said, and then Walter Hamada confirmed it, which was so damning. Justin Lin had said, like, well, she's in less of the movie, but she's still in the movie.
Yeah.
So instead of her, because in the first movie she was in like 67% of it,
Yeah.
he was like, she's in like 45-50% of the movie, which was always the plan before the cases.
Yeah.
Because Walter Hamada literally said what was kind of in the Hollywood industry rumor mill for a while, and even before the divorce, and that was she had no fucking chemistry with Jason Momoa. So
yeah,
no, there really wasn't.
So,
and I think that the reports that Jason was helping her out. Jason's just a good dude.
Jason and Justin are good dudes because they what like they said. What is the point of replacing someone where the movie is going to be written around not using them as much anyway?
Yeah,
but that's why she would work in AEW. You don't even have to give her a script because I mean she can't really read it very well.
No.
You can literally just let her come out and just be so unlikable, and like
let her work with Paige Van Zandt. We already don't like her.
Oh God, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me, Zach. That woman. Anyway. But I got to get away from Paige Van Zandt, which it's unfortunate I have to get to her in the pay-per-view here.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you pay her $3 million. Now she gets to pay off Johnny Depp. By the way, it's funny because Johnny Depp doesn't care about the money.
Oh God, no.
Apparently,
Johnny didn't care if he won the case. Right. He won the court of public opinion.
Right.
That's not hard to see.
He apparently representative was like, he really doesn't care about the money, but he's going to let the lawyers deal with the litigation.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think he actually gives a shit.
No, he doesn't.
But
the $50 million was just literally what his Pirates contract was valued.
That's
all that was.
The Pirates and the Fantastic Beasts and the other contract with I keep doing
with Disney
with WB was worth.
Yeah, exactly.
Was about $50 million.
Yeah,
but otherwise, yeah, I still think he's gone at the beginning of the year because I don't think they're going to put a title on him.
Yeah.
No.
Now, if he wins the title, then I think he'll stay.
Now, I have to say something that Corey brought up because it doesn't make any sense to me. Why would MJF have to buy out his own contract? That doesn't make any sense to me.
So I think I love Corey. Corey's been on the show before.
Some independent contractor situations work like that, but this is sports independent contractor.
This is pro wrestling.
Contracts have never worked like that.
So, like in pro football and pro basketball. And pro baseball players can do it. They actually have more free will than everywhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
But like pro hockey, pro basketball, and pro football, if a team wants to trade for you and buy out your contract, they can do it. The team has to do it.
Yeah.
The organization itself has to do it. You cannot, as a player, do it. Now, you can hold out and then hope that they'll just pay you, which I think is what Baker Mayfield is hoping for at this current juncture in his career.
And Jeannie Buss needs to just do... Sorry.
To rest the rest book. Absolutely. Put it on your taxes. Eat it.
Jeannie.
Just eat it.
Jeannie, you own the Lakers.
Just
$47 million's a problem?
Right.
What? Your father passes away and all of a sudden the money's gone? The hell is going on here? You're the Lakers.
The family is worth billions.
That's what I'm saying. It's $47 million.
Eat the 47, write it off, and give it to charity.
Yeah, please.
You'll get it back next year.
It's not that hard.
It's really not that hard.
No.
But in pro wrestling, that's not how it works.
Right.
Either they release you from the contract and then give you a percentage of it. I think technically in WWE, while they pay you the next 3 months, they pay. It's like they're still, the agreement is we're still giving you like 30 or 40% of the salary you were going to get. So you're still getting the full salary you were getting anyway.
Yeah.
Which is why they have the clause of the non-compete clause.
Yeah, exactly.
But right.
Well, but the other thing about it is that Jesse, what people don't realize about that clause is that we also don't want you to immediately, because here's the deal. Like they said, you have a choice.
I'm leaving his up on screen because remember, people, you can either
We do have shirts.
You can hit up myself, Zach, or Leroy about the shirts.
We'll get you shirts. But Jesse, here's the thing: is that they don't want you to go do a show and have them pay for you to possibly get hurt, not on their dime.
Right.
Now, if you choose to not take the 30 days and just be released the next day, that's a different story.
Right.
But most wrestlers are smart enough to sit back and say to themselves, "Okay, I'm going to stay at home, get paid to get healthy."
Right,
That's what I'm gonna do, which is not
right.
a bad decision.
No, because you're still making money.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so is it time? So we got to wrap up MJF here because there's still so much to come.
So let's go ahead and get to the pay-per-view here.
Before we do that, though, you've got him out. I've
Like
got
I said,
it. I've got it
2023,
50-50.
By February 2023, it's going to be the Cody thing. He's going to be gone because Tony Khan isn't smart enough. Let me rephrase that. Tony Khan isn't
Experienced enough.
businessly experienced enough.
Yeah.
Guy's a dumbass.
To give him a little bit of what he needs
Yeah.
to try to keep him on board
Right.
long enough to where maybe he regrets resigning like CM Punk did. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people will say that was dirty, Vince. That's just good business.
Yeah.
I agree it's dirty, but it's just good business. CM Punk was going to sell the next 2.5 years.
No business anywhere that is highly successful and publicly traded has a clean record. Sorry, it doesn't.
Mickey D's pretty sure they're giving you mystery meat. We all knew Taco Bell was for about 25 years.
The McRib,
Well,
the McRib literally has actual rubber in it. Like what more do you need to be told? Anyway.
mystery number 47, number 52. KFC has 47
Die number 76. Anyway.
and a half.
So, Leroy, we talked about the first match. It was a squash. I honestly...
Hookhausen?
Huh? Oh, yeah, right. The one thing the fans were actually excited about, you decided to put
And
on
it was the
free.
pre-show. Woohoo!
It was great.
I actually enjoyed this.
Yeah, it was
this was
great.
this was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
Hookhausen's great.
Good old
Oh, my
Hookhausen.
Hookhausen is seriously. How does that make the pay-per-view? But O'Reilly, who technically didn't hurt Sting,
Right.
and freaking Darby was in the second hour or the second half, I should say.
Second half.
Yeah.
They'd open the third hour.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, if anyone should have been punished for hurting Sting, it should have been the Bucks. You know, because he kicked him in his shoulders. His shoulders.
Yeah, he's too tall.
Well, they fixed his neck.
It was too tall.
Well, they fixed his
That's
neck.
it. All
No,
right.
no. You can fake a super kick to the head. It's not hard to do. Because you can fake it to the chin.
Yep.
And these fucking idiots kicked him in the shoulder.
Well, yeah. Yeah. They couldn't reach his head.
Jesse's only mad because
That was too tall.
Jesse,
I love Sting.
you do.
I do. I love him too.
I
love you, Steve.
I
You're
met
awesome,
him
Steve.
once when I was 15 years old. I love Steve. I do.
We didn't meet him, but we were in the same room with him.
We were.
It was kind of
nice.
Yeah.
It was kind of sweet.
Yeah. I will say this though, folks. For those of you who haven't listened to
Before you finish,
a couple of shows,
I
ago.
do not understand why you sell that super kick like death. Steve, you don't got to do it, man.
And that transitions into my point. The only thing Jesse hears was, "Baby, why he fall down?"
It just didn't make no sense, man. It's
All
so-
you hear is your mother going, "Baby, why did he fall down?"
Baby, he didn't get hit. Why did he fall down? I'm like, damn it! This is the part of being a wrestling fan I hate.
Yep.
Because when
You're just
shit
like-
like that happens, I'm like, I can't explain this.
All right, but anyway,
It's like, Mama, I don't know. You saw it. I'm not sure.
Officially, the best tag team in AEW is Hookhausen. End of conversation.
we
Although
go.
Jesse was right on this point, and this is a good point to be right about. Mark Sterling is a gem.
Dude, I keep telling people because we don't see him wrestling AEW much. I'm like, this guy is a comedy wrestling piece of gold. Like, he's great.
His outfit was just like
Oh,
you hated him from the outfit. It was so
yeah,
good.
that's true.
and the gimmick of being wrestling's only lawyer makes you hateable because who likes lawyers? Nobody.
My family's full of them. We don't even like them.
I like our new one.
Yes.
But otherwise, yes.
Yeah, I know. It's kind
She
of
knows. She gets it. My family's been in the profession long enough. We get it.
it's kind of where we get more professional. We actually have a lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's scary.
And soon to be an accountant.
Oh my god. Yeah, I know.
But anyway,
we're getting bigger.
So we previewed the first actual match.
Wardlow.
I think
Seven
this
power
wasn't
bombs?
what they originally planned.
10.
10
10.
was 10 power bombs.
10 power bombs, 7 minutes and 30 seconds.
This match, despite what the circumstances were around it, Max did right by Adam.
Yes, he did. Like I said, that's one of his best friends. He was always
what doesn't
right
make any sense to me, though, and Jim pointed this out. I didn't realize it until Jim pointed it out. And in fact, I forget who else reviewed it, but somebody on YouTube pointed it out. After all that, you couldn't give Wardlow 30 seconds on the mic?
They should have.
Tony just has to walk out, and he's playing a character. I told you.
Yeah.
He comes out and just announces that he's all elite, and I'm like, Wardlow couldn't say anything? Even the quote, something's coming?
Well, he could have.
Nothing?
He could have had.
But Tony's got to speak.
Yeah. Well,
Tony.
The stipulations that he won, that he was granted his release from his contract with MJF.
Well, yeah, but
and that sequence that he would be signed with it, which Wardlow could have grabbed the mic, looked right at the hard camera, and screamed, "Now I am all elite."
Something,
and drop the mic
anything.
and walk out.
This guy just went through trials and tribulations.
Perfect.
He played his part to a T, and despite what Jesse wants to believe about the person, Sean Spears did a good job.
Sean is a good wrestler.
Yes.
My problem with Sean is the problem that I've had with so many wrestlers nowadays. Sometimes, to quote the one white guy from the viral video, you're just not that guy or gal. You're just not it. Like, you're not a main eventer. Like, that's the one thing me and Jim Cornette have always agreed on. Sometimes you are just not a fucking main eventer. Now, sometimes we are wrong about who should be and who shouldn't be.
Yes.
But sometimes some people are just not. And that's okay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
There we go. Yes.
Besides
I
the
do
fact,
agree.
dude, you're living off your wife's OnlyFans. We know that. Anyway.
Roddy Piper never won one motherfucking world championship in his career. Hall of Famer. It's okay.
Well, remember, I'm sorry. I refuse to have an argument about who the greatest of all time that never won the world title is, because the list is Roddy Piper, end of conversation.
Right.
That's the list. Sorry. You can't add anyone else to that list, because nobody is Piper level and never won a world title.
I always thought
that
Intercontinental Championship stuff was way better than his WWE title stuff.
It was, yeah.
I love that.
It was.
Like, it's okay.
But anyway, no.
Next match?
No.
Oh.
Jim points it out, and I think to myself, man, one of these days we're going to have a show, and Jesse's going to have no choice but to be like, God damn it, Zach, I got no evidence anymore. Because you got some. Tony's just playing a fucking character, and he just wants to be on TV, because it's slowly going to happen. It is.
I don't want to be a character. Tony, shut the fuck up. Yeah,
that's right. That's literally what he said.
Shut the fuck up, Tony. Take the dick out of your mouth and admit it.
Anyway,
both of them out of his mouth.
We'll save that. Jesse's gonna hate that moment, but
all right. Well, can we do the next match?
Yeah.
The first botch of the night, with the Hardys beating the Young Bucks.
The botch was the fucking match. What are you talking about?
Well,
no.
Yeah.
No one gets off of this.
I agree.
IWC to the fucking front.
Right.
I said this was a bad idea.
Right.
Jesse predicted it fucking...
Yes, I did.
And then whatever...
But the problem is it was 6 years ago. They were all still healthy.
Right.
And whatever Jeff did that hurt himself...
He doesn't remember the match!
He doesn't remember after a certain point. He doesn't remember the rest of the match.
The IWC has to come to the front right now, and I'm going to fucking say this. I don't care if it's heard by 40 people or 40,000. You idiots need to be fucking told off right here and now. I said this was a bad idea. I said it numerous times. I said, why are we showing it? I said the Hardys looked like garbage from the day they walked in. They should have, I hate to say it, you should have listened to Jim. You bring them in, and the first fucking thing you do is face off with the fucking Hardy Boys.
Right.
That's what should have happened. It should have been the one and only thing they did. It should have been the first fucking thing they did, and then you let the Hardys go off in the sunset. If they really wanted a proper reunion and weren't getting it in WWE, then you should have fucking just did it day one.
And they blamed
Jeff is not capable of that match anymore.
Yeah,
Matt's
they
never been the high flyer. He's not capable of his own shit. Sorry if I'm talking over people, but no, you people need to be called out for your shit. You wanted so bad to prove that WWE screwed up. And look, they did. We've all admitted it. So why do we have to prove it by almost killing a father?
Damn right.
He's got 2 kids at home. He shouldn't be doing this. And people are telling him that he's still capable. No, you're not. The dude has an addict-style brain. Not saying that's a bad thing. Because Jeff has never blamed wrestling for his addiction problems. He's blamed himself. His own words. Jeff Hardy will never give up the fucking lifestyle of being what he has been in wrestling until he's fucking paralyzed.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Darby's another story because he's young and stupid. More stupid than young.
And they blame
Jeff's
him.
just being petty.
And they blame him Darby partially for the match. I'm like, no.
Of course they blame Darby because guess what? Jeff Hardy's fucking 50 and shouldn't have been in a match like that.
No, and
The hell are we doing?
we don't blame Darby. Who the fuck booked the
You want to
match?
know why you got 70-year-olds that keep coming back to WWE and piss Jesse off once or twice a year? It's because they never wrestled a style like Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff's style doesn't go 40 years.
But it's who booked that match. It's their fault.
It doesn't matter whose fault it is. The fault belongs with the fans who fucking sat there and said, oh, this will be great. No, it won't.
Wasn't that good?
This is... I saw this match, and I said to myself, I have never been more embarrassed to be a Hardy fan.
Yeah.
Jesse, name one moment. Jesse, first of all, this wasn't...
I shouldn't even look up because I said I called this match 3 weeks ago, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you did.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you did. By the way, folks, for those of you...
That needs to be a clip. Every time I'm around, I'm just going to be like...
By the way, by the way, now that I've gone back and I've reviewed what happened on the Dynamite before when they dressed up like the Hardys, did you notice the makeup on one of the Bucks?
Yeah, Nick Jackson was wearing the same makeup when...
Jeff had his meltdown at Victory Road.
And they had to just squash
okay.
the match, yeah.
Yeah.
Very fucking high class.
Really high class,
To
boys.
make fun of
Did
like
not
the
realize
lowest point
that.
of his fucking career. Good job.
Lowest point of his life, arguably.
Right.
He was in there with Sting when that happened.
Right.
And Sting was upset and mad.
Everybody was.
Now Sting forgave him later on, and that's been talked about how after a couple weeks, Steve was one of the first people to call him about that and like, listen, I just want you to get healthy, man. Like you're a dad, you got kids,
But you got to apologize to the boys.
like you got to make things right with the boys in the back, and just Steve being a good leader.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll move on.
But it just...
Shall we move on for that clusterfuck?
Before we move on...
Okay.
Why have I been right about the Bucks for the last over a decade? I can listen. Jim Cornette can say what he wants about the Bucks.
You were way ahead of Jim.
Because Jim has always said what he has said, and people call him a curmudgeon for saying what he said, but he only says it because he really did want them to be successful in TNA.
You've called him a curmudgeon.
And I believe he is a damn curmudgeon.
You believe it.
But he really wanted their success.
He did.
Because he believes in their talent as a tag team.
He does.
I never fucking have.
No.
Because they're arrogant pieces of shits. And I keep telling people one day their arrogance and that hardcore fan base, and it's not going to be like their fault as far as like they're intentionally trying to do it, but somebody's career is going to end.
Yep.
Because they even for one of them, because they keep thinking they can do the same match they just had 17 years ago. In this case, the same match they just had about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You can't fucking do it when you're that age.
Nope.
No. All right. The next one was for the TBS Championship with Jade Cargill beating Anna Jay.
You mean the most over championship in the women's division?
Here's the stupid thing about this match.
Yeah.
Here's what pissed me off the most. It didn't need to happen.
No.
They literally put it on the card. By the way, this is the most WWE shit they've ever
Yeah,
done.
wasn't it?
They literally put it on the card because Anna Jay saved I forget who from the baddie section, and then Jade, quote unquote, issued the challenge on Twitter. This is the most WWE shit ever.
Yeah,
Okay, did you see the lovely video? You know who was training with them?
Well, listen.
The American Dragon was teaching them.
Brian is making those women better in the ring. There's no doubt about that.
So that's why it's going to be more looking like WWE-ish because of that.
The matches look good. Like I said, this has nothing to do with the match itself.
No.
It didn't need to happen.
No.
Yeah.
They threw this together because, like I said, the most over women's thing they have. Seriously, if you swapped the TBS title and the world title right now, the world title will be more over because Jade Cargill feels more like the women's champion than she does. She's promoted as their best women's champion. She's been giving photo shoot. I swear to God, this woman does nothing but photo shoots and then wrestles for like 20 minutes a day.
I mean, listen, I'll give AEW credit. They are highlighting their minority wrestlers.
Not denying that.
So
mostly because Big Swole called you out.
Probably, but then when you get to another minority wrestler who's barely been featured on TV, and she's supposed to be the head women's champion.
She's also one of the best women's wrestlers
wait a
in
minute.
the world.
It's like, wait a minute, Thunder Rosa is a minority too, but
right,
a second-class minority now.
Right,
Compared to
according to AEW booking, yeah.
I guess so. Yeah.
This match didn't need to happen.
No.
So once again, this is I started the night with a 4.5 with Hookhausen because they're just great.
There we
go.
Wasn't a 5-star match, but
no.
But for what it was,
it's so entertaining. You get a 4 out of 5.
Yep. No,
Yes,
boys,
I
I
agree
loved
with
you.
that.
I gave a 3 out of 5 to MJF and Warlock because it was supposed to be. MJF is a fucking professional, which is why I've always loved him, and he did the job for
I
a
took
friend.
off half a point for the bad medical spot at the end, but
Well, and that's why I gave it a 3. It was entertaining. It was good.
Are you gonna give the tag
The
team
Bucks got a fucking a 0.5 out of 5
Whoa.
because you knew you couldn't have that damn match, and you continue to do shit you know you shouldn't do, which is why I'm tired of them.
I thought you were gonna give him a point at least, but no, I guess.
No.
0.5.
0.5.
And then
A half a
fucking this one gets a 2. Not because it wasn't a good match, but because there was no reason to have it.
Just to have him on the pay-per-view.
There was
Jay Cargill should be the women's champion at this point.
They should have one women's belt,
Right.
And it should have been Jade Cargill 5 matches ago.
There
And
we
then
go.
the tag team title thing for the women. Because I'll give them this, unlike WWE, they actually do promote women tag teams. Otherwise, yeah, just so far, now the show has hit the shit.
There we go. Well,
Next.
at least we get a 6-man tag with the House of Black beating the Death Triangle.
And you
Prevailing.
find water in a desert of shit.
A good match.
We found the oasis. Because goddamn did I love this.
How was Buddy? Was he good in
Great.
that match?
Buddy was great.
Because when you let him wrestle,
He's the best
He's
thing in the world.
great.
He's so
I know.
good.
by the way, it's funny, AEW apparently made the same mistake WWE did. Just let him wrestle.
Yeah.
There you go.
Remember, he had that great fucking match on SmackDown with Roman Reigns. We were like, love this kid. Let him keep going.
And then they just never
And they
followed
just
up on
never
it. They
fucking
just-
followed up.
nothing.
You're like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Well, see, they had that lovely match, and then
And I hate to say it.
I'm gonna lump these two together.
No, hold on.
Okay.
No,
What?
and I hate to say it. Despite how much this show blew, Julia Hart blew better than everybody else.
Oh.
So they finally let her turn heel.
Yeah.
By the way, you shouldn't have teased this a couple weeks ago. That was stupid.
Tommy knew it was bad in the moment.
Right.
You saw his reaction like, oh, well, we're fucked.
Because
He knew it in the moment.
do it at the show.
Yeah.
You know, because what you could have had her do is just be so distraught at the fact that they want her to join.
Yep.
And when he hands her the chair to hit Garrison, what you should have did is tell her, just be scared the whole time. Like, I'm not going to hit him with the chair. I can't do it. Like,
Yeah.
these are my friends.
Yeah.
Because now when the heel turn comes,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, well, they finally got to her. Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. But you already fucked up the moment when you did that.
Yeah.
But I still gave this a 4.25 out of 5.
This was so good.
The Lucha Brothers and Pac deserve so much better than what pro wrestling gives them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are fucking great.
Jim says all the time, Pac's small, but he looks like a badass. He's jacked like a badass. You wouldn't care about his size because he can work. The problem
true.
is that he works with a bunch of unprofessional idiots half the time.
And to be fair, WWE did not treat him very well at the end with the cruiserweight stuff.
100% it was a bad idea.
And then the Lucha Brothers, to be fair to them, were wasted in Impact. And I don't know how they did that.
Which is weird because it's interesting.
Because Penta was the world champion.
Remember when this first started with the Lucha Brothers, everybody was like, okay, they're having to slow down, and people were telling them they've done a better job of American-style pro wrestling.
Yeah.
They figured it out.
Yeah. Well, of course they would. They just need reps.
I'm sure a couple of phone calls
Right.
from Ray also
Right,
helped out.
right,
because
right.
there isn't a top luchador in Mexico who doesn't have Ray's phone number.
Right.
That's true.
Like, I mean, I'm sure Ray just hit.
Called Chavo, which is probably, and Chavo was like, listen, this is why WWE isn't a bad thing, because you learn, hey, slow it down a little bit. Plus, it keeps you healthier.
Yeah.
Because then you can fully control everything you do.
Yeah.
So, listen, it's these guys are phenomenal. Listen, the
If
more I
this
say
match-
about Tommy,
If
Tommy
this
End,
match, if this match had not been where it was on the card, I would have turned it off. I'm sorry. At this point, I'd been such through a desert. I would have just accepted the buzzards at this point.
Like me, I would have been in there having a marathon poop session.
This.
I would have read like The Stand by Stephen
I
King.
would have started reading a book. Like,
The Stand by Stephen King, and not the edited version, the full version.
This started.
Woo!
Man.
This say whatever the first half of this pay-per-view was. Because I mean.
Kind of horseshit.
No, calling it horse shit's a compliment.
Oh, well, all right. I'm being polite.
At least when a horse shits, you realize that it's just going to start
Call
walking
it a
at this point.
decomposing body is what those two matches were at.
Well,
the
this next two match, I'm going to put them together because they can. The winners of the Owen Hart, what the hell? They're going to give him
all Jesse.
They're going to give him a fucking belt and a
Would
trophy.
you like me to?
Adam Cole
Time
and
out,
his
time out.
lovely wife,
Jesse,
Britt Baker.
Jesse, do you want a minute to have me say something, or do you want? Okay.
Just
Jesse has to prep. Okay.
they gave him a pretty belt.
They didn't crown him, but
that-
they damn sure did.
They gave him a pretty belt that looked like an Owen Hart belt.
The
a
biggest
Stampede belt.
foreshadowing ever was how they
What?
were dressed.
Yeah,
Number one.
they were dressed alike.
Number
yes.
two, I think Brian Last is correct, and this is the sad part that I'm going to get over with. This was the Hall of Fame speech that Martha never got to give. That's
Well,
what
you
this
know
was.
what?
That's what this was.
She could change that.
No,
She could,
no, it's not happening.
I know.
She'll never do it.
but she could
I
change
get
it. It'll work. But
She's
oh
not
well.
the problem, but first of all, what are we doing with a suddenly able to wrestle Samoa Joe? What is actually... Where was Jay Lethal to do anything? Where was the other big, fat Indian guy that apparently even WWE was like, maybe the former basketball players don't work out that well. Where is Truth Martini? That's all I have to ask. Truth, where are you?
Right.
Where are you? I need the book back. I need you, Mr. Martini. I do.
So yeah, they got a pretty belt.
Sanjay, you were in WWE long enough to know what to do. You were okay with this?
Did they both get a cup or just one?
No, it's one cup. Two wrestlers,
belts.
one cup.
Well, the original,
They got two belts
the original 2-in-1
that
cup
they
was
won't
better than
defend because they're ceremonial.
this. Yeah.
And they got to say thank you to a guy who's better than all of them combined.
On a bad day.
Owen Hart was in that category of people. And by the way, one of these days, I'm going to list my top five. The next top five I do will be the top five guys who, quote, would tell you in the back, I'm going to go shit in the middle of the ring and then give you a classic match. Owen Hart's on that five.
Oh, damn right.
Because Owen Hart could tell you, I don't feel like working today, but I'll go out there with you. And then the opponent's like, oh boy. And then Owen Hart will give you a 5-star classic.
Leroy, if you must go ahead, you go ahead before I unleash, sir.
No, it's just my feeling is I saw the belt and I saw where they looked and I'm like, what a fucking waste.
It was a throwback. And the sad part about it is, it
It's
was
a
a
waste.
throwback to Stampede Wrestling, which I love the old tapes of. And we got it on this second-rate clown show of a promotion, which acts like it. And I'm sorry, Jesse, this was the second time TK was seen on this fucking pay-per-view. Because he just had to bring Martha. Couldn't have been the kids.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been his fucking children. The greatest thing he ever did.
That would have been way
It
better.
had to be Tony fucking Khan to present two belts that will never be defended to two people that were already wearing pink. Pink!
Yep.
And we buried two... Who did Britt even beat? Oh, right. That's right. Oh, by the way,
Soho.
we wasted Rancid!
You know who she beat. You know who she beat. Don't let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's get to the nitty-gritty of this. The only good thing.
They buried two great people.
The only good thing that came out of this was Martha's speech. That's literally fucking it.
Well, we got to see Rancid. I wanted Rancid to play a couple
and
more
Rancid was
shots.
awesome, but I'm a music fan, so that goes without saying.
Exactly.
Yes.
The only good thing to come out of this was Martha.
Yeah.
She's it.
Yep.
She's. How dare you? How dare you? Oh, you do this to Owen Hart's legacy? You get the name and the blessing to do this, and this is what you do? 2 belts that they're not even going to defend. They don't even get world championships matches or anything like that. Something that would have made the tournament feel great, and you can start it as something annual. No! Not AEW.
Yeah.
No, not AEW. We're going to waste everybody's fucking time. And then the second most insulting thing. What the fuck do Adam Cole and Britt Baker need this for?
They don't.
By the way, their fans can't tell me. Can anyone tell me? I'll wait. Man, there's a lot of silence on the internet right now.
No
one can tell me why they needed this. They didn't. Ruby Riott sure could have used it.
Joe needed it.
Joe needed more because you haven't fully started your ROH show yet. You're just using all of them on Dark and Dark Elevation, by the way, without telling people. So, hey, good job spending $40 million on something that you're just fucking wasting time on again. Good job. I have never, ever wanted to strangle a promoter the way I wanted to strangle Tony Khan after these 2 matches. You insult Owen Hart. By the way, Brett, for giving your blessing, fuck you. You should have known better. But your bitterness at your old age is starting to get very old to everyone in the wrestling world.
Which is weird because you signed a contract with them.
Sign a new Legends contract with WWE. You'll take the money, but you'll bitch about it. And then you have, listen, I love Martha and those children. I'm happy to see that they're healthy. Mm-hmm. Got grandbabies as well.
Yes.
Oh, it's wonderful.
I think the daughter has kids.
Yes, that's wonderful.
And I have nothing but love for the Hart family because, my God, have they fucking been through it as a family in wrestling.
They have. They really have.
So I'm always happy to see them do well. Mm-hmm. This was a waste of time, of a great wrestler's name, and it was basically meaningless, which means you also insulted pro wrestling. Because let me be very clear, the Harts are up there with some of the first families of pro wrestling. How dare you? And then for Tony Khan to be the one to present the so-called ceremonial belts. I almost slept through my Chromebook in front of me on a show that happened the day before because I didn't watch this live. I went to go spend time with a very special lady, and thank God I didn't watch it live. Because I part of me would have had to call some buddies and be like, I need you to fly me to Vegas to get arrested. Because I'm about to do something very terrible to a brown man. This was horse shit. And by the way, both of these matches get a 0.5. You want to know why? Because you're wasting talent. Oh, and then what did you do? You gave Ruby Riott back the win on Wednesday anyway. Fuck you, Tony Khan.
Yeah, no, that of all the booking decisions he's ever made, and he's got some bad ones. That was the most confusing
I've never been so infuriated in my life because as a wrestling, some people will call me a wrestling aficionado. I'm just a wrestling nerd.
You are.
Owen Hart means so much to the game.
He does.
And we lost him way too soon.
In an accident.
Right. But we lost him way too soon. You get the blessing, including from WWE, to use the name. Apparently that's what one of the meetings with Vince was about.
Yep.
And this is what you do with it?
You think even Vince regrets it? Because Vince regrets a lot of things with Owen, but this is...
He probably doesn't. I wouldn't in the sense of like...
I didn't do this.
It wasn't me, so you can't blame me, guys.
Yeah, no.
For once, I'm not going to take the heat on this one.
For once, this ain't my fault.
Pro wrestling cannot be mad at me. This was not on me.
One of those moments when Jesse didn't even know Jim said this, but Jim Cornette said it. If Owen Hart was alive, he'd be like, what the fuck is happening to my legacy? This tournament is my legacy? Fuck this. He could.
He'd be like, I got to come back and wrestle today because I can't. This you're not leaving. This is my legacy. I think if he was alive though, this company would have never gotten that chance because I think Vince. Because if Vince does something with Owen Hart's name, hey, for the men's tournament, for the women's tournament, you win, you get a title shot. Make it meaningful.
Now,
That's what he does.
Okay, Vince will pull a WWE because he is WWE, and maybe that person won't win the belt.
Sure, but they'll get the title shot.
But they'll be in a main event spot.
Not only will you get a title shot, maybe like a SummerSlam or something, but all of a sudden, man, this person's a bigger star.
Because, by the way, folks, we already chronicled what happened to Miss DMD. Adam Cole's just going to go back to this super elite bullshit after taking a couple-week break to do this tournament. So nothing's coming out of it. It was literally... Jesse, what is the one word that WWE always gets shit for? Pandering.
Right.
What the fuck was this?
Pandering.
Big time.
On the most disgusting level.
Yeah, it's
This is
so
almost
dumb.
This is almost unforgivable shit.
pretty damn close to it. Pretty damn close.
I now don't know if I can like go to an AEW show and not see him and not rush at him because I'm like, I need an apology to pro wrestling because this is bullshit. And, Adam Cole, you better not step on the stage if that happens because I will get arrested because you're no taller than Leroy and I will crush you.
No. Pause. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Brian Last with breaking news. They put him on the stage. Britt Baker's got like an inch on Adam Cole.
Yep.
He's no bigger than Britt.
Right.
Vince would have never let this visual happen.
No.
You know what, Jesse? He would have built a stage just to avoid this.
Right.
He would have built a stage. He would have given that Cody stage, which we used for a week, and said, as long as you don't look as short as the woman, we're okay. I've been trying to say from the moment he debuted, and yes, you both, and no offense, I'm not mad that you both didn't have hype about it, but I was the only one who didn't care about Adam Cole from the moment he came out. In AEW.
I didn't.
I was excited only because the possibilities of us without Kevin Steen, with the Elite, and then of course they announced the New Japan stuff, and I said, well, this could be interesting, few type of stuff if they can kind of get that work with in New Japan, because I think that kind of stuff with a King Switch, understanding the history of Bullet Club and all that, I think it could be very interesting. But of course, they've done none of it.
Jesse, quick question: what do you think the relation? How much New Japan and crossover do you think there will be after Forbidden Door?
They've been very careful about anything anyway.
By the way,
letting out Tanahashi was just, hey, well, you need a main event. Well, we'll use the main event guy. We're just not going to use our current main event guys. So you're not getting Okada.
But by the way, side note, shout out to your boy Takahashi.
Yes.
On winning the Super Junior.
Yes.
Great tournament this year. The juniors always show up and show out.
Man, this year, though, was just something special.
Yep. Still waiting to hear what they do with Kushida. He's home now. He's probably taking a little time off.
Right.
To just be with the family.
Right.
Because, remember, he was away for a while.
He was.
He was away for a while.
Right.
All right. So now that we get off the abomination that was the first 2.5 hours of this pay-per-view.
By the way, this is what happens when you do something for love.
Yeah. Adam, okay, quick question. Okay, let's say Adam resigns back when he did. How much longer was left on Britt's contract? 18 months at the most?
Yeah, something like that.
I think right now it's about 18 months, yeah.
So you would have had to wait 2 more years. You're
Right.
both technically working in the same state anyway.
I think I'm telling people, I think he would be, they wouldn't even have split the titles because I think he'd be WWE champion. I do.
It could be, yeah.
They wouldn't have split the titles because I think he would be WWE champion. Like I really don't think they would have had Brock beat him. They'd have just gone on with the plan of Brock losing, to Roman regardless of whatever happened.
Yeah.
And then Adam Cole doing something else because he was that good.
Yeah.
He was that protected in WWE. He was that good.
Oh, wow, Adam. You would have had to spend 3 months dealing with funky love shit.
Oh, God, you would have had a really bad soccer haircut for 2 months when hair grows really quickly.
Yeah.
For what was reported, at least 700,000.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, well.
This is worth that. Okay.
We'll go after that
Okay, Adam.
dismal shit.
Let's go to what might have saved this pay-per-view, even though, like I said, we're going to debunk some of the good shit because, God, they've never shit after a pay-per-view this bad.
All
Go
right.
ahead, Leroy.
Well, the next one was the six-man again with the America's Top Team beating Sammy and all them.
This was awful.
Yeah.
This. What's Jesse's favorite line? This wasn't even a nothing burger. This actually had substance, but this was a shit burger. This.
He took a bite and he was like,
The fact that Kobe Bryant is in any way associated with that belt makes me angry.
Let me be very clear. Scorpio Sky should be ashamed of himself.
He really should.
He should be fucking ashamed of himself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't associate Kobe Bryant with this. Once again, we're just shitting on legacies in AEW.
Yeah, apparently
why
that's
not?
what we do.
They're good at it.
I'm surprised they haven't hired Amber Heard. She clearly shits everywhere.
And then, right, and then Paige Van Zandt. Guys, let me be very, very clear. Just because the Tushy has some cushion, just because I love her as a UFC fighter.
You did.
But as we talked about,
not as much cushion as people think, but it's there.
It's there. I loved her career in UFC, but as we talked about, when she kind of got towards the main eventers, she clearly was outclassed at times.
Mm-hmm.
It happens in the fight game.
Mm-hmm.
You either find a way to step up or you stay in your class as the top dog. That's the fight game.
Yep.
She wasn't ready. She was not ready. No one could watch this and be like, no, she looked great. She was not ready.
Where were you at 11 a.m.? You should have called up the American Dragon and said, can we meet at 8? And can I get 3 hours of work in before the real women come in? Because you needed a lot more work with somebody.
Oh, yeah.
But not even Daniel Bryan's good enough to pull this shit off.
Oh, Daniel Bryan is great. He's not great enough to fix that in 6 hours.
No. All right.
Ty Conti isn't good enough to carry a woman who isn't ready.
Nope.
By the way,
and Sammy's just officially the most unlikable asshole in all of wrestling.
Because now it feels like you've dragged Frankie Kazarian into this, and now he can no longer challenge for a title, and he should be able to challenge for any time he wants.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing. By the way, I hadn't even talked about the match yet. The match was fucking bad. Mm-hmm. It was slop. Sammy Guevara, I'm crazy. I'm gonna do the crazy stuff. Okay, guess what? You and Darby Allin are going to learn that there's a reason a safer style gets you a longer career.
Hey, Ty, is your relationship really going to be hot and young when you're taking care of a cripple in the next 3 years?
Because that's what's going to happen.
Because you won't be wheeling his ass in and out of a fucking feeding tube at this
apparently,
point.
I actually owe Chris Jericho an apology until we get to his match. Apparently, he was trying to protect this kid.
We're going to call this the fireball effect.
Right.
It's going to be a flash of light that Jesse's complimenting.
Jericho, I'm a wizard for this one.
Yeah.
Apparently, he was protecting him because the start of him without Jericho was really good. And then I started to think about it the other night. I'm like, well, it was with Cody Rhodes. That seems to make a hell of a difference.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cody seemed to make a hell of a difference in that division. Mm-hmm. Because without him, this division sucks.
Yep.
Now, Miro returned Wednesday, and we'll get to that, but
Yeah.
I'm like, this division now sucks. And Scorpio Sky should be ashamed of himself. Ethan Page apparently just really likes being a sidekick, and that's fine. You can make a lot of money in your career being the second fiddle to someone, but you left Impact because you said the pastures were greener, man. Well, your buddy is doing so much better.
Yeah, no, your buddy is arguably the best bout machine in all of wrestling right
People literally can't get enough of Josh Alexander.
No, and
he's such a high commodity. He was able to quit his actual job as a firefighter and a construction worker because he gets paid so much in pro wrestling now.
And Scott's not giving him up to anybody without quite the payback.
The only thing Scott really needs to do, and it's the same thing I think NWA needs to do, is find a way to get on CW. That's literally it.
Yep. All right, Leroy.
Well, the next one was a match of why the hell they had to put it on at this time. That was the Kyle O'Reilly beating Darby Allin.
It was a fine match.
The match was fine, but why were we having it?
That could have been on the pre-show.
I know Corey tried to be like, well, Kyle was out there. Yeah, but Kyle didn't injure Sting.
Oh, rating for the previous match, I gave a 1.5.
Oh, wow. Wow.
1.5.
Paige Van Zandt actually got you above Jade Cargill. That's impressive.
Wow.
It wasn't even because of Paige Van Zandt. It's because I think the chemistry between Frankie and Scorpion is fucking awesome.
Oh, and by the way, we forgot to mention back during the Jade match, well, looks like that Malcolm Bivens is truly the American phrase, there always eventually will be a price.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't blame him, though.
I'm not mad when you get that kind of money to come back and do what
Right.
you were doing, man. Oh, and by the way, Athena,
Good luck.
yeah, that's all I got to say.
Good luck, sweetie.
Good luck, because you're working. Again, look, do I think Jade is still the same Jade she was last year? No. Was she the woman of the year last year to me? Yes, because her year dictated it.
Yeah.
Since then, Athena, girl, I hope Booker taught you a lot, because you gotta find a way to save this.
I think in the ring.
And you want to know what'll happen? And Jesse's gonna fucking break the microphone that we never use. She's probably just become a part of the baddie section. She's probably just going to become part of the baddie section. Come out there and freaking, bare feet.
I want to disagree, but I can't at this point.
She's probably, Malcolm Bivens is probably, Stokely's probably just going to be like, hey, come on over to baddies.
So I will say this, though. Good luck.
Yeah.
Now, unlike some of her other former WWE counterparts, she did not burn a bridge. She has not burned a bridge. She does not plan on burning the bridge.
Nope.
But good luck.
Because, by the way, I think we've learned that when you insult Funky Love, that's not burning the bridge. That's just obvious.
Well, even fans know at this point. But let me be clear, Athena. Look at Ruby Riott. Mm-hmm. Look at Chris Statlander.
Yep.
Technically, you're already the second best woman in that division.
And Chris Statlander has been there from the start.
Right. By the way, someone she's currently teaming with in that whole feud. Mm-hmm. So be careful. Mm-hmm. Because remember, she went back to the Indies. She was actually wrestling men for a short time.
Yep.
And you were reminded, oh, yeah, that's right.
She's
probably a top 10 wrestler in the world still.
Yep.
And, yeah, WWE did waste her, and she had every right to be upset, but she did not burn the bridge, and they did not burn it with her completely.
Nope. Yep.
But, yeah, good luck.
Have fun.
I bet you Thunder Rosa's having some buyer's remorse.
You think? And by the way, now we'll move on to the next match.
That was the next match.
No. Now we're gonna move on because nobody cares about Kyle and Darby. But anyway, go ahead.
I gave it a 3.25 because it was a really good match. But what was the point of it?
But that's my point, Jesse. Tony Khan is proving to the people that don't have the rose-colored glasses and the Hopamine that you can't ignore the build, especially when there is no build.
There was literally no build to that match. I literally based it off of a double super kick that didn't actually hurt Sting. Fucking kicked him in the arms. Please move on. Please move on.
That should have been, as we said, that should have been a pre-show match.
Yes, it should have.
Yes.
Then we talk about...
Can you imagine if Hookhausen had been now to that audience?
Oh, they would have flipped their lid.
Leroy's like, I'm trying to get you off of this.
They would have flipped.
All right.
Oh, shit.
We're trying to get you out of here in time. Fucking idiot. Knock it off.
Oh, we have plenty. Jesse and I
All
both
right.
be at the same point.
Hey.
I'll be able to hit it now.
I'm trying to get this production as a producer kind of here to get
All
it
right,
going.
all right.
Next we have Thunder Rosa defeating Serena Deed in the number
AEW.
one women's championship.
Right.
That doesn't seem like it's number one, as we said
Gave the
before.
match a 4.5.
It was a good match.
Fuck, this was great. The only thing that bugged me, Thunder,
Is
I
the
love
next
you.
match?
You gotta be careful with the dives. She's very Sasha Banks with the dives sometimes, and I get frightened. Like, please don't get hurt.
Right.
Like, we're hoping we didn't lose Big E, and Sasha at some point will return to wrestling. By the way, she ain't going to AEW, guys. She's going to Hollywood. Let's get your mind off of that.
Yeah.
There we go. She can do some Mandalorian
Because the problem
stuff.
is that, and again, this is she was right about this situation, but if there's one thing she has, Jesse, and it's somewhat justified, it's an ego.
Yes.
And you think she gonna walk in and she gonna spend 6 months of Dynamite just being on a freaking mid card?
No.
No. And you know what? Like I said, Jesse, there are people who have earned an ego, and I have no problem catering to them.
Right.
But Tony Khan, unless you're willing to cater to the Sasha Banks ego, it's not as bad as the Phil Brooks ego. More on that
That's
later.
true.
We'll get to him.
But the thing is that because the thing is, remember, Sasha just came from being a top woman. You think she's gonna come down and she's just gonna do the job for 6
Right.
months? Fuck you guys.
Right.
There we go.
Anyway, go ahead, Jesse. To your point, or no, yeah, Leroy. Next match.
The next match features Jesse's favorite, the Wizard Loving Society.
We're not even at the tag team title match because it was such a long night. But go ahead.
Yeah. The Wizard Society there
Before Jesse goes, because I don't know if Jesse
defeated
feels the same way.
Blackpool Combat Club.
Before you go, Jesse, because I don't know if you feel the same way, because obviously there is a fine line between what people thought, which was, to quote Gene, beautiful chaos. Let me say something. Fuck everyone involved in this, and I mean it. And you want to know why I say that?
Why is that?
Because guess who wasn't anywhere near it? William fucking Regal.
I know.
Fuck anyone involved. This is horseshit. This is embarrassing. And wait, so I'm supposed to take Brian Danielson seriously. He got pinned. They knew it wasn't gas because no one in the front row looked afraid.
Right.
But let me get this straight. Warner Media is like, we're high on this. But that's what you're going to let on?
I mean, they're high on something.
They're high on something. It might be the fumes of the gas they weren't able to use because
definitely
that
isn't.
shit's expensive.
And it definitely isn't life because most of them just got fired by Dave Zaslav.
Tony must be sharing.
This was not organized, beautiful chaos. This was disorganized bullshit. They didn't have enough cameras. They couldn't follow it. It looked like some Backstreet Boy reunion if you were freaking the Appreciation Society. Daniel Garcia is wasted more than any human being in wrestling based off the small sample size that I know he's
That's
capable
the
of.
biggest sin of AEW, even more than its creative and Tony. If you have more money than Vince, how does your production feel so low level?
Eddie
Because
Kingston.
they didn't hire the right people.
Eddie, if they didn't want you because you wanted to do shit like this, then it's the Dean Ambrose syndrome. They saved you from yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie Prinze Jr. was in the crowd for both of these shows.
He was.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, hey, dude, you couldn't have did this a couple years ago. Hey, I know you used to write for them. I kind of mostly do the writing, but I know you also used to be in production with them. Bring a couple people, come work with me. Because you have the money to do it, right? Because the production is...
How can you like this match? I'm
how
sorry.
How do you lose fucking 3 different fights because you don't have enough cameras? There's 10 fucking guys in the match. You know there's 10 guys in the match. You know they booked the match probably to separate from each other, and you don't have enough cameras?
Yeah.
They're spending money on the wrong shit.
Right, so the moment JR goes, I don't even think we have a camera to go to that. No.
How many
Absolutely not.
How many more cues could JR have given during this match to say, somebody go home?
No shit.
In the wrestling sense of, end this shit.
All right.
Jesse, anything
And
else?
yeah, I disagree with you.
Okay.
I actually thought the match was kind of fun.
Okay.
I am getting fucking completely over Eddie Kingston at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I lied. I am over Eddie Kingston at this point.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Just let him and Jericho kill each other so we can be done with this.
Yeah.
Because this feud has gone on forever.
Maybe Jericho can take the frickin' wizard powers and send them to the Shadow Realm. I don't fucking know.
I watched Friday Night SmackDown and I saw so many people. You know, man, this fucking feud between the New Day and Sheamus' group has gone on a long time. You know, and I thought about it, and I'm looking, you know, because now they just announced a match for Dynamite in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, this feud with Jericho and fucking Eddie Kingston started at the beginning of the fucking year.
Yep.
We're still doing this.
Yep. We're official. As of today, happy birthday to my little brother, by the way.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
As of today, it is June 5th. It is the 6th month of the year. We're about 5.5 months into this shit.
It feels like that other feud's been going on so long because they have matches every fucking week the last 2 months.
Right.
And trust me, like I tell people all the time, trust me with WWE, I get it. It's just like, guys, it's the same fucking match.
We're not denying
Big E got hurt. I get it.
We're not denying it.
Frustrating.
We're not denying it.
But
Yep.
this has literally been going on for like 6 months, and they don't have matches every week.
No.
And it's getting annoying now.
And Jericho has gone from Le Champion to a wizard, and I'm fully...
Guys, he dressed like a damn near Ku Klux Klan member.
He did.
The first time he said he was a wizard.
He did.
All I'm saying...
Yep.
But it still gets you 2. Because...
Yeah.
The White Wizard now.
Because the spot with Moxley whooping everyone's ass for a moment was great. And then...
I'm not saying I don't enjoy chaos.
Right.
But like you said, I can't get past the fact that I missed half the fucking match.
And then...
That's my own personal opinion. If I miss half the match, I can't give you a good star rating.
And you weren't trying to go poop at that time, so
No.
you didn't miss it. So.
And then 2.0...
I watched this pay-per-view twice because I had to watch it over the course of the week because of all the shit I was doing.
Well, that was a fucking mistake.
I know! I know now!
All right. He's made the unfortunate mistake having to watch Road to the Top. But
Yeah, I ain't got to do that, thank God.
Well,
WWE's not
hey.
letting that happen.
we'll
they're not.
think of something other painful for you to do, so don't worry.
You
Yeah,
still
but
have to get punished for that
what
loss.
painful for me to do was watching this fucking pay-per-view on a Monday morning. That was painful
Did you have enough coffee?
because I should have just went back to bed.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah, you should have. All right, after that, fucking whatever.
Yeah.
Then we got the triple threat tag team match where the champions beat.
We were all
And
wrong.
Now we're back.
We were all wrong about the result, but like Jesse said, we're back.
This is the first 5 of the night and the only 5 of the night.
Yeah.
Holy shit, this was excellent.
I'm not rating it a 5 out of 5, but I will say this. It's arguably the best match of the night because again, I'm forced to watch this and I'm forced to look at you, and like I said, I'm not a hater because I give these people shit for the stuff they tell me they're doing.
Right.
But these guys did all the shit that they normally did. But I will say this. How much longer until we've officially wasted Keith Lee?
If we get to the 6th,
Are we there
If
yet?
we get to the 6 month mark
How far are we in?
and we're only 3 months in.
Okay, so by the
So
end
we
of the
got
summer.
3 more.
So by the end of the summer.
So right at the start of winter, if he hasn't
Well,
challenged
fall.
for like
Well, fall.
the TNT
For
title,
some kind of title, yeah.
we're getting there. But so far, I like this partnership.
Yeah.
It's worked really well because you're also, in that case, at this point, if they're not going for the tag team titles again, you're also wasting Swerve.
Yeah.
But so far, I dig this. This works for now. Okay. I love Hobbs. I can't praise this kid more.
No.
And then Ricky Starks is just the fact Ricky Starks still hasn't been the AEW World Champion is criminal.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this. This is the first time they actually look like deserving tag team champions
Yeah.
because they had to go through the fucking ringer to retain these titles.
Yeah.
Here's the fucked up part. Now they're going to lose them to the Bucks.
Yep.
Because that's what the Bucks do.
Yep.
So
That's the booking of the tag team division.
that's the booking of the
Yeah,
Bucks tag team.
Because
division.
remember, folks, they're gonna say, "Well, you lost to us. That ain't nothing anymore, boys. It wasn't 17 years ago, and it ain't now."
Right.
Because I think I saw or read that they have a planned match against them soon.
Yes.
Yes.
The moment I watched Jungle Boy get pinned by fucking Matt Jackson, I said, of course they're going to fucking get the titles back on themselves.
Yep.
But overall, I gave it a 5 out of 5. Right, like I said, not the result because I thought they're going to probably finally pull these titles.
Yep.
But this was absolute banger. See, this is when people talk about with AEW, like, man, I hate the booking, but man, when they just let it be matches after match,
Yes,
they can do banger after banger
Yes.
after banger.
There you go.
Well, this was one of them. Like, this was a banger. So that's really all I had to say about this match.
the best part for this match.
No one lost anything either.
No, not at all. But the best part about this match is the fact that it wasn't opening the night like a lot of people thought it was going to, because our expectations would have just died after this match.
I think if this opened, I think the original card was this opening and then the 6-man tag with the House of Black.
Yeah.
The middle of the pay-per-view, oh my God. Especially if you would have did MJF after and then the rest of it, I think people might have started to walk out the arena like, well, I'm bored. I'm going to go take a dump. Tell me when the world title or the women's championship match is on, because now I'm bored.
Yeah.
Like, it was so bad. But, yeah. Great match.
Great match, but like I said, there is such a... For me, personally, it's getting harder and harder in this company to just watch the match for what it is. Vince is the master of removing everything around him because mostly he doesn't talk about it.
Right.
The problem is there's such a cloud over all these teams of what they could be that it's just hard to not see so much of what could be. But overall, match was great. It was.
All right. And then to end the match, the 13th fucking match of this long,
On 13
ever
cards,
forgiven.
There we go.
Well,
there we go. Tony,
it's a better.
you get a golf clap, Tony, because we
like
appreciate we appreciate the publicity. We do.
we like that 13, even though it was a.
We still have a media scrum to get to, but please, we're
Well,
not gonna be here till 3 a.m. like the wrestlers
there
were
we
after
go.
that match.
Well, yeah, we won't be here that long.
All right.
Well, it happened.
Mm-hmm.
It happened. CM Punk did win the title again.
Sadly, I cannot come
Hangman.
out here and say what I was going to because of what happened on Rampage, which we'll get to. But really, you came back and you wanted to help a young company. Phil, I know you're hurt, and I don't want to beat a dog while it's down, but you still deserve this because you know what? You should have been, because technically you should have been told this like fucking 7 years ago.
I mean, I'll do it.
Oh, no.
I'm a New Yorker. We have
I know.
half left for Chicago, so I'll do it.
That's fair. But no. Here's the deal. You came back. You beat Darby Allin. You didn't put him over. Win. Did MJF win at all? Didn't Max get one match? Because they're 1-1.
They're 1-1.
Because obviously the summer of Punk was going to turn into the summer of MJF because
Right.
now it's all work.
He's sticking with that. I like that though.
But anyway, so
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. A WrestleMania main event was so meaningful to you that you will just insert yourself into the first guy who was actually, despite how terrible they booked him,
Really terrible.
making us believe that they were going to start creating legitimate world championship talent. And now your old curmudgeon ass, because he's there. You know he's there.
He admitted that he's the get off my
It's
lawn
called
grass
Just
now.
for Men, Phil. It's definitely available in your fucking color. But here's the deal.
It is. Yeah, I know it is.
We pretty much knew that this was going to happen.
Oh
And
yeah,
now-
I think we all said it. Yeah.
And now he can go home and be a dad for the rest of the summer and play with that newborn baby because no one fucking cares about your cowboy shit anymore. Because guess what? You weren't nothing before the match because they fucked you up. But now you go home, bro, because we ain't got nothing else for you. Because where do you go from this? Where?
Well,
To the whorehouse.
No, Jesse. He's probably going to come crawling back to the Bucks. Even though remember, they didn't interfere. They let him beat Kenny fair and square. And now for some strange reason, they're just going to act like that never happened and be like, "Come crawling back to us and maybe we'll give you some legitimacy." You know it's going to happen because Hangman can't work with half this roster. He's got to go over to the Elite. So anyway, Jesse, anything else to say before we get into the
I thought the match was really good. The story
Yeah.
at the end. But here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I only gave it a 3.75 because you want to know why?
what is
This
that?
is just another Bret Hart match redone.
Oh yeah, no.
Ah.
That's all
yeah.
Punk has done since he's come back is do Bret Hart matches.
Why? I don't want to know why.
You don't even know this, Leroy, because you
I
haven't
don't.
watched on a consistent basis.
I don't
but
even know. Why?
But every single match that Punk has done since he got to AEW, there is at least a 5-minute window where it's just Bret Hart spot, Bret Hart spot, Bret Hart spot. Every match.
But why the fuck is he doing it?
Because he wants to be in Bret's good graces because nobody else gives a shit about him.
Oh well, okay, I guess. But
Do you
does
want me to
Bret
repeat
really,
that, Jesse, or did you hear that just fine? Did I stutter?
Does
Bret's
Bret?
a bona fide Hall of Famer. Bret doesn't need. Let's get to
Bret don't give a shit either.
Oh, no, Jesse.
No, we're not done.
Oh, no, we're not done, Jesse.
We're not done because
there
remember
was a 2-hour media scrum that we have to be a part of.
Well, I'm going to take a nap then.
So, ladies and gentlemen.
Because I didn't watch it.
Okay, Jesse.
Oh, neither did I.
Oh, boys.
I'm not talking about MJF stuff. This is a shut up.
No.
fucking Tony, you dumbass. Are we gonna?
No. That's not the most egregious thing.
Oh,
That's not the most egregious thing that happened.
I'm sure it's not with him.
the 2 hours.
So hold on. Hold on. Let me just
His
recap.
paid media guys in there.
It was 6 fucking people. That's it. It was Dave, whoever that fucking assistant of his is, and I think Sean was in the room with a couple other guys from like PW Torch.
Well, they pay Dave, yeah.
Well, anyway,
Dumbass.
I will not comment on the MJF situation because there's so much other good stuff we have to talk about from what was arguably the best pay-per-view we've ever done.
Oh, I didn't know he was a comedian now.
We won the month. By the way, we won the Friday Night Wars. That's now actually been said in court in California.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, I saw him say. I'm like,
Eric Bischoff.
what fucking?
He
word was
lost
that?
his mind. Jesse, I'm not Jesse. This dude must be on something because this late in the night to go off the way he did when they asked Punk the legitimate question of what do you think about Eric Bischoff saying you're the biggest waste of money? By the way, Punk never spoke. Punk never answered the question. You want to know what Punk said? The only thing he said to that question, and I'm not joking, it was, and I quote, well, we're off that question. He had to stop Tony. Punk did. Punk looked uncomfortable, and he was being defended. Tony Khan brought up more statistics that meant so much jack shit that I can't even begin to describe.
Yeah, didn't he talk something about variables and this and that? And if you play with the butthole
hold
to
on,
the power
hold
of
on,
3.
hold on. We ain't there
I
yet.
think so,
No,
yes.
No, I'll explain all that. I promise you. I'll explain
It
all
was-
that. But hold on. So,
if you tongue the fart box.
It was worse.
by
than,
the way, Jesse, this
worse than
started.
Steiner math.
This started with Tony, dude.
That was actually accurate, unfortunately.
Steiner math that I can understand.
Here's the deal, Jesse. You want to know what's funny? He started this with his usual, hey, guys, thanks for coming. It was great, blah, blah, blah. 6 times in that opening segment. 6 times! He
Tony.
looked to some dude off camera and was like, is Chris ready? Do we have Chris? Yeah. Is Chris here? Do you have Chris? 6 times!
Chris? Oh, Jericho?
Yes! Because Jericho had to come in and talk about this. And Jericho not just exposed the business, but talked about how they came up with all this stuff. Talked about how they were adding more stuff. Chris Jericho talks about how, hey, you know what? People don't really make sense. Chris Jericho had the nerve to say, have you noticed you don't see a lot of signs in the crowd anymore?
AEW.
Not at your shows.
Not at your shows.
Not at your fucking shows.
Chris Jericho talked about how they did all this amazing work and they did things and you remembered it and it's like, oh, I don't remember that. Yeah, that came back in. And he sounded like Omega on fucking the good steroids. Because Chris Jericho is more delusional than Cody Rhodes and Brandy combined in Rhodes to the Top. He thinks everything he's done in AEW has been absolute amazing.
He is the
He
wizard.
loves it. He is so indulgent. And by the way, as he was speaking, saying good things about Tony, Jim Cornette spoke over the audio and said, put over the money, Mark. Put over the dude that's standing next to
Can
you.
you make me coffee as I have to listen to this shit?
Oh, I make some good stuff.
Yeah, let's do that.
Leroy Jenkins.
And
shit.
now,
Oh,
we
yeah.
get to what Jesse was talking about.
I'm about to fall asleep listening to this shit.
Tony Khan spent 25 plus minutes explaining how he made this pay-per-view. I'm going to go the Charlie from It's Always Funny here behind you boys. No one can see this. Except we are live on YouTube.
We are live today. Yeah.
So if y'all want to come back and see the video, I'll be doing this. So apparently we had to connect the dots to why he built the pay-per-view based on the 27.1% chance there was a Game 7.
So you had a dot here and the dot way over here.
He wouldn't shut up about the fact that he was watching the fucking NBA playoffs, and based on how they ended their games, he was adding more matches, more spots, doing this, doing that. Hey, it only happens 27% of the time that there's a Game 7, so you know what? We had to think about, okay, what was the next hour we were going into because we were going to go up against this team. And he actually, I believe at one point he mentions, thank God it wasn't the Warriors because everyone was going to go watch them.
Holy fuck.
They weren't on this late, even on the West Coast.
No.
Even they were in bed before fucking 3 a.m. on the East Coast.
Wow.
Steph Curry drops a bunch of dimes. Klay Thompson drops a bunch of dimes. Go to the NBA Finals. The Game 1 will be over by the end of this media scrum. This was nonsense. This was insanity. This was the most jerk myself off session in a room full of 6 people who aren't even that good looking. No offense to anyone in the room except for Dave, because you are an ugly old bastard.
He is an ugly old
Oh my God. Tony, lay off the 8 balls, for Christ's sake. I think your bad blood's 7 of them.
Bro, how much fucking coke does your daddy get you from the good old country? Because fuck were you wide awake at 2 in the morning.
Oh my God. Yeah, definitely.
Even Punk admitted it was like a 12-hour show.
Right.
Punk had to stop you from talking because you wouldn't shut up about the fact that Eric, you had to jump on Punk's dick so hard because you had to tell everyone that Punk has helped record numbers. Right. Every match he does is the biggest thing. Rampage's biggest number was with him. He had to. I'm surprised there was video. Because he could have just jerked him off. If this was a Zoom session, he probably was jerking off Punk. Because he spent so... How do you compliment someone so much that they have to tell you to stop?
Well, because it wasn't on
Even a man with that ego.
It wasn't on Pornhub. That's why he's not doing that. So if it was on there, yeah, he would have been. There we go.
Thank you, Jerry.
Oh.
Anyway.
I do love Pornhub.
So here's the deal.
That's a good free one.
Great.
Tony.
Sponsor us, Pornhub.
We should try that.
I'm down.
Technically, we could put the podcast on Pornhub. They don't. Yeah.
They don't care.
Don't care.
Oh yeah, we can get paid too.
Yeah.
But that'd be weird.
But anyway.
Might do it.
You do realize that if this show made money off of Pornhub, I would flaunt that check everywhere. I would not give a fuck.
I probably would. I'm like, hey, we're making money on Pornhub. Watch us there. What?
Yeah, exactly.
I play the music right before every video.
You would.
Great.
But anyway, no, Tony.
Oh,
hey, Tony.
God help
You
us.
feed them the questions. It's not hard to tell that you're feeding them the questions. Dude, like Jesse said, even Dana's like, man, it's late night in Vegas. I gotta go to bed.
Bro, seriously, he'll talk about the matches. He'll get through like some of the questions quick. He'll literally look at his clock and be like, all right, thanks, guys, for coming out tonight. We'll see you at the next show. You want to know why? That man got shit to do in the morning. Like, bro, I got to be in bed. I got to get up by like 5 fucking a.m.
Oh,
I'm going home.
Tony's not going to bed. He's up all fucking night.
I don't think Tony Khan hasn't slept since Trevor Lawrence was in high school.
That's probably right.
Anyway, on to Dynamite.
Maybe Trevor Lawrence should sleep with the sister, and then the dad will realize how shit the son is at using his money.
Mm-hmm.
And pay Trevor Lawrence more.
And then pay Trevor Lawrence to book AEW. Holy fuck, I might have just solved the problem.
There we go. It might be a better show.
Yeah.
I hope so.
He might be the Peyton Manning of pro wrestling. We just don't know.
Shit.
We don't actually
We
know.
don't know.
An epiphany. Holy crap.
You know what? Then again, even during the height of the pandemic, even he decided not to be a part of the Stadium Stampede thing. So
I don't blame him for that.
Yeah.
maybe that should have been a warning about Urban Meyer. Like, oh, really? You attach yourself to this? We should fire you today.
Oh, so
Like, even Daddy didn't show up. He said you could use like
They used the cardboard cutout of
me.
Daddy.
I know I'm signing all the checks, but I really don't want to show up.
All right. AEW Dynamite opens with Punk getting injured. Because it happened somewhere in here.
This was a sloppy fucking match.
That's because Punk was hurt.
It was sloppy before then.
I know. CM Punk and FTR paying tribute to Bret Hart again. I don't know why. Bret doesn't need the money.
Watching him jump off that rope and kind of... that was horrible.
Versus the Gun Club and Max Caster with Anthony Bowens and Billy Gunn.
Number one.
Hey, Billy. Hey, Billy. We're all marveling how you look in your 60s. You ain't doing much with it.
Well, that's
him in the ass, boys.
I think he literally only started wrestling at first to kind of get his boys over, which is fine.
Yeah, but now he's getting paid to literally push a dude around in a wheelchair.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, he's always fucking. Speaking of someone who's always hurt.
Yeah.
When did he must have got hurt on like Dark or something.
Probably.
And I missed it, but
FTR and Punk won. Okay. By the way, just in case everyone is wondering,
FTR has chemistry with everyone.
And
do you know how bad the ass boys have to be?
Oh no, hold on, Jesse. We're on WrestlingView.com, and
WrestlingView.com.
Okay. Josh Boutwell.
Okay.
Who is doing the report for this segment?
Okay.
Would like to open his 2 cents by saying, "Holy hell, that match sucked."
Yeah, it's terrible.
It was pretty standard.
Now, for those who got the chance to watch me live on Wednesday, where I had no issues, I came in right after ended up being live right afterwards because I was having some computer problems.
Yep.
And I had 4 comments off the bat like, "Damn, what you think of that opening match?" And I literally said, "I'm actually happy I wasn't live." Because you'd have heard me laughing so loud at how bad this thing was.
And now we get to Jesse's sad moment.
What's that?
This is how you get Tanahashi on American television. It follows this.
Oh, he comes out. Oh, yeah.
Because he came out to accept the open challenge.
I will accept your challenge. Oh.
I kind of...
And now that's fucked.
I'll be honest. I didn't tell Zach this on Monday, but
he's beating Goto. That's all I'm saying.
I told a lot of people this on Monday before Raw. I said, I'm pretty sure Tanahashi's actually going to come out on Wednesday night whenever Punk has his match because
it's going to be Punk versus Tanahashi.
I think New Japan is going to send Tanahashi to go fight Punk, and which is going to be great. It's as he tried to once use these words to insult Eddie Kingston. It's his speed. Tanahashi's great.
Yep.
But Tanahashi's 50. So Tanahashi don't wrestle, or damn near 50. So Tanahashi don't wrestle like he used to like 15 years ago.
But many of you could take a note from the ace, a la the Hardys and Bucks and Darby. Dude knows how to adapt to his age.
And is still at the top of his game at that age.
And he still makes me think that every time you can't tell me that you have the same hamstrings after that dragon screw.
Go Ace. That's a sign, baby.
Yep, there you go.
Here's the thing. When it was first announced, I was like, okay, you know what? This alone might be worth buying that pay-per-view over because Tanahashi's fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
I seriously, besides,
and I will give you credit, Tony, unless you're an idiot and you tell the boys over in New Japan to have Goto beat Tanahashi. Because, nothing against Goto, but really...
He's beaten Tanahashi, but the record is clearly in Tanahashi's favor.
So what I'm saying is that, Tony, I said this about a year ago on the show. Congratulations, you're going to get Tanahashi in the ring. Congratulations, you get one up on me on there.
Right.
But then we go
I think
over...
Japan is being very kind by saying, listen, we're going to actually let you guys have Goto and Tanahashi on this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And I think that's just a treat from New Japan to the American fans. Hey, you're going to get a great classic New Japan style match.
And by the way, over under 17 times they're going to promote Strong during this match. Anyway,
because New Japan is smart.
Then
they're fucking brilliant.
Then it was the MJF segment. We've already chronicled it, so we're not going to go into it. But basically,
it was fun to watch the uncensored.
This whole thing to me explains it to be a work because folks, Tony's not even dumb enough to let a dude have a live mic if he's that pissed off.
Like
you said, Jesse, I think he's maybe being bonused a little bit. They've worked over some of their issues. I agree with you. I've been saying since the promo that he's staying, but you've definitely convinced me with talks we've had being like, I think it's 50-50 whether he stays or goes, but I think it's leaning more towards go a little bit.
I think this was still a shoot, though. It was let's just call it a.
It was
work
a shoot. It was a shoot
work
that
shoot.
Max was willing to edit for television.
Right.
That's
It
what it
was
was.
a work
I
shoot.
do. He is going to. He's leaving AEW.
Same one that Undertaker gave like 25 years ago and stuff like that. Go ahead.
But no, MJF is leaving AEW. When? Not sure. But yeah, just reminded me of the pipe bomb.
Which, by the way, folks, no.
Once again, was a work shoot.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was just that they were willing to.
You should get closer to the mic. When you
Oh
say
yeah,
that.
my bad. Holy shit.
Jeez, I can barely hear
The
you.
media scrum took as much out of Jesse as it did the rest of the wrestlers.
And I didn't watch it. But yeah, because that was once again, you're allowed to say what you like in all this time, Punk. But when time runs out, we're cutting off the mic.
Yep.
And time ran out. People forget they didn't just cut the mic to be a dick to them.
Yeah.
They were 12 minutes over.
Yeah, they were.
USA is like, this is great riveting television, but we have a shitty show to play that nobody wants to watch. So
Then the next situation on this show, that's all I can say is
on the
situation.
cock.
Folks,
No, they're not good enough to be on the cock.
Anyway, folks,
You're welcome.
Johnny Impact comes out, known as Johnny Elite. It said Johnny Impact in the article. That's why it's funny.
That's funny.
Johnny
Once
Impact-
again,
No, it's Johnny Elite.
Johnny, I know WWE did you wrong, but you signed to just be a guy to put other people over.
The list of names he used now
Miro's back.
is incredible. Yeah, so they were when they announced he signed an open contract to fight anyone and no one was in the ring. I'm like, wait, you're already jobbing out?
Yeah, right.
This was quick, Johnny. You're already being jobbed out.
Yep. Also, now we get to. I can't. I've been waiting all week for Jesse's thoughts on this.
I did love seeing Miro back there.
No.
Really,
Yeah,
really
no,
did.
Miro,
Not that-
Miro being back.
I'm excited.
Miro's great.
The Redeemer didn't have enough time, in my opinion. It's got a chance. So now we move on to the Jericho Appreciation
Oh.
Society.
Fuck me.
And for some strange reason, Jericho, the leader of the Jericho. Can I get this monologue out before you say anything? Jericho of the Jericho Appreciation Society will now be facing Ortiz, not the main guy in the other team, but random dude in a tag team that used to be in his original faction in a hair versus hair match, because he's the only guy with hair. That's the stupidest thing. Ortiz is the only one who has hair.
Daniel Bryan has hair too.
Yeah, but Daniel's not going to be involved.
Sorry,
in hair.
Bryan Danielson.
Bryan
I
Danielson.
can't. It's. I get what Steve was talking about. You're so conditioned because he was so great there for like 12 years.
Yeah.
That you keep calling him by that name. But go ahead.
But-
Why? What?
It's a hair versus hair match with a random tag team guy from the other side of the pond.
My head hurts from this now. Oh my God! What the?
This was all a ploy
Oh
to
my
not only set up a hair
God.
versus hair, but William Regal to just basically, hey guys, once again, don't want to be like WWE, huh?
Didn't he come out and say blood and guts?
I swear to God, if he would have said War Games said by accident, I think
I was hoping.
I would have pooped myself.
I was so hoping he would have been like, "Whoa, games!" I'm like, "Yes, this is gonna be the greatest blunder of all time."
I would've-
But Williams a professional, so of course
I would
he
have
didn't.
pooped myself and peed a little on that one.
Let me be
'Cause that would've
very
been
clear.
funny.
Let me be very clear about Chris Jericho right now.
He's a dumbass.
This is he once on his podcast talked about how when Hogan came back that everyone felt like Hogan's run was wasted because he wasn't willing to put guys over. Well, that's interesting, Chris, because now you're the same age of when Hogan came back in the early 2000s. What are you doing, sir?
you're working with a random tag team guy in a hair versus hair match that, let's be honest, you're not losing, Chris. We all know this.
Well, yeah.
So, let me get this straight. You're a wizard now.
Correct.
You've put Daniel Garcia under your tutelage, and yet before you, he was already in main events of shows.
Correct.
You've been feuding with Eddie Kingston for about
When we
5-6
get that new
months now.
soundboard, we need a sound of Miz just going,
Yeah.
correct!
Correct.
Well,
Well, hey, Johnny Elite was there. Johnny's the perfect setup guy for that.
I mean, he's already jobbing out.
Yeah.
well, I don't know if we could use that or we'd have to do it ourselves.
No.
I'll tell WWE, I'll pay you. I'll pay you. Fuck it, I'll pay you. because unfortunately, Miz has been like the smartest superstar in pro wrestling
over the last 10 years.
Well, especially over the last 2, especially when it comes to other American companies, because my God, is he just right all the time?
Also, what would be so wrong if MJF does leave early and then goes and faces Miz?
Nothing.
Where's the issue there?
It's literally a stepping stone to being a main eventer.
And the fact is that Miz is that guy.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that once you beat Miz, you're kind of already, everyone knows you're going to the main event. So why are we shitting on MJF versus Miz?
Beat a Miz or an Edge, that puts you in the main event spot.
Hey, Leroy, guess what?
Yes.
There was a commercial break.
Oh, my God.
It's the only good part of the show.
Oh, yeah. So you can go poop or get something to eat.
Something like that.
Samoa Joe had a match. He was attacked by Lethal Dutton Singh.
Duh.
That was backstage after his match with Adam Cole. They clearly taped this.
Well, yeah. It was a pre-tape.
They taped him getting his ass kicked?
After
the
his match at the pay-per-view, yeah.
And then they showed it on
and
Wednesday.
they showed it on
instead
Dynamite.
of the pay-per-view.
Right.
Which, by the way, only would have taken another 30 seconds out of a 4.5-hour show.
I have been told, because I have not watched Darker Elevation the last couple of weeks, which is funny because they actually usually are better, because there's none of this shit and there's just pure wrestling the whole time.
Right.
That they actually did show this clip on those 2 shows. So if you're one of the 17,000 people that actually watch 2 shows, like myself, you would I guess you'd be in the know. Otherwise, you just it doesn't matter in AEW.
And now we move on to the 10-man tag team match. Let me count the wrestlers in this match.
A 10? Oh, my God.
Hold on, Leroy.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this corner, Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Hikuleo.
Well, they'll send him because he's
The fuck is that?
a Laura Carter and he's a Bullet Club.
He's in
New
Bullet
Japan.
Club.
He's a Laura Carter though, so it doesn't matter.
I've never heard of him before.
With Adam Cole and hold on. Those are the people in the ring. I haven't even mentioned that there were also 2 other people at ringside for the Super Elite.
Cousin of Tama and Loa Tonga.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So okay, it is the Undisputed Elite: Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly. And Hikuleo, didn't realize he was in the Super Elite. But also Adam Cole and Brandon the Cutler are here. We don't know why, but they're here.
Yeah, why not?
Versus the Jurassic Express of Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, Jungle Boy. I don't know, whatever JR said that week. Dino Douche, Christian Cage, Matt Hardy, and Darby Allin with Jeff Hardy at ringside because Jeff is just a walking corpse at this point.
He was injured, and so was Adam Cole. So they were not put in. I heard that. They were pulled from this match, and the people were
Jeff was actually made to go to the back,
him.
so he wasn't actually at ringside.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this happened.
Yeah.
It's not like
It's a fucking clusterfuck.
And like I said, Meltzer driver on Jungle Boy for the pin. Because nothing else in this match mattered. It was a bunch of horse shit. You couldn't follow it. It went 1,000 miles. Christian Cage should be ashamed he was involved in this. Because he's had tables match. He's had TLC matches that had less action than this.
Christian Cage is just had to fucking do it because, Jeff's going to die apparently. So,
yeah.
I didn't have a problem with the match.
The next thing in the article. In the back, Keith Lee and Swerve Strickland are with some rappers.
I don't know who the fuck these guys were. I knew who the clothes designer was.
Jeff Hamilton.
Yeah. He's the only one I knew. I was like, who the fuck are these other 2 dudes?
Athena comes out for an interview with Shivani. Shivani, once again, how are you not losing weight based on how much they make you get up from that desk? And
it was a very uninteresting promo.
Leroy, I know this is annoying and painful. But
no, I
but
didn't mean to do that.
But we're doing a show here.
I'm looking up news. There's some news.
Yeah, he's looking up news.
No, there's news going on right now.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. Though.
And I didn't mean to do that.
We'll get to it.
But yeah, I didn't understand.
No, there's more injuries besides what was on that show.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
Daniel Bryan.
Yes,
Bryan Danielson is hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
That just came out.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What is the injury again?
They haven't give up an injury at all.
Okay, we have so we have one more major. So we have two more major topics to get through. So we got to get through this card quick. Athena came out. It was the same shit they did at the pay-per-view, but with an interview. Was not interesting at all.
Yeah.
I don't care. I seriously don't care. Malcolm, dude, you got to work some wizardry on this shit because, my God, go find Jericho, see if there's any wizardry for him.
He'll make it work. He's very good.
Mr. Mayhem Wardlow destroyed JD Drake. JD, I hope they bonused you for the night there, kiddo.
JD Drake needs to call JD Vance and sue somebody.
Yeah.
Take his ass whoopings.
Doctor, oh yeah, by the way, Leroy, there's now a class action lawsuit against Wardlow.
Actually, I'm interested to see how they do this.
Because
For what?
Mark Sterling is now representing all of the AEW security that Wardlow's beaten up over the years.
It should be fun, though.
Or over the weeks. In the back, Sky and Lambert talk about Dante Martin.
Dante's just going to lose on Friday.
Yep.
I think he did lose on Friday.
He did, yes.
Yes, he did.
Dr. Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter with Rebel. That's right, Rebel's still there. Faces, Ruby Soho and Tony Storm.
Reba, not Rebel. Come on now.
No, it says Rebel right here.
But it's Reba, not Rebel.
I know. Versus Ruby Soho and Tony Storm, or as their tag team is called, damn, we should have stayed. Even though one of them was released.
I say one of them got fired.
Yeah, well, you know.
On your day off. How you get fired on your day off?
The winners were Soho and Storm, which was weird because last I checked, Soho had never beaten Britt Baker in any circumstances.
But
and
they
then
finally gave her a win over Britt Baker.
Yeah.
She actually pinned Britt Baker.
In a tag team match.
Yeah.
In a tag team match.
Fucking insane.
After the match, Hayter attacks Soho and Storm with the Owen Hart Cup belts. Again, rest in peace, Owen, but I'm sorry about this. I hate this.
It's insulting. I hate it.
And then apparently the match that made Jon Moxley the #1 contender, we'll get to that. Jon Moxley beats Daniel Garcia.
It wasn't this match, though. So that's probably what it says on there, but it wasn't this match. He's actually been #1 ranked since they announced that CM Punk was going to get the title.
He's #4. He's not #1. #1's Wardlow. #2 is Adam Cole.
Is that this week?
That's the current.
That's the current. He's looking it up. That's the current.
That's
yeah.
the current.
Remember, it
up-to-date
changes
ranking.
week to week.
No.
No, it's what.
But I'm pretty sure
current.
he actually had been ranked #1 the last 3 weeks.
No. Wardlow's been #1 since the start of the year because he hasn't lost a match. Wardlow's been their #1 for the longest time. Let me just get the okay. So the official rankings as of June 3rd. Hold on.
Fuck.
Hold on. As of a day ago, this came out a day ago. This is the official AEW website.
Tony must have his own list.
No. What the fuck? Okay.
He changed it?
No. Jon Moxley is now officially #1, but he was #4 when he was announced. They changed it so that now we believe it. #2 is Wardlow.
Oh, okay.
#2 is Wardlow. #3 is Hangman, who apparently leaped Adam Cole, even though he just lost a world title match. And #5 is Jay Lethal.
What the fuck he hasn't won a match?
Not on camera, but he's done it on dark.
They're dumbasses.
You know what's funny? You want to know what's funny?
Tony, you're a fucking dumbass.
Moxley, this might be the first time this has ever happened. Jon Moxley is now officially ranked top 5 in 2 different categories. The BCC is officially the second-ranked tag team.
So Jon Moxley has basically been the best thing in the company since its inception. Yeah, we know that.
Yeah, okay.
He's the only consistent thing in this fucking company.
Tony
That's
Storm
true.
is the 4th-ranked woman.
Oh.
But the grass is always greener
On the other side.
Chris Statlander's at 5. She should always be your top 5, but you keep fucking her up.
She's never gonna win the women's championship.
No, it's never happening.
Never.
happened.
Let me look into the camera. Never. And it's not because I don't want her to win it.
It's just not happening.
It's just they're not going to do it.
So anyway, now we have to get over this. We have to move to
Rampage.
Friday. It's announced like an hour before the show that CM Punk will be on there to address the championship.
Oh, God.
Okay.
It was already pre-taped.
It was already pre-taped. So apparently he decided that he was going to say this at the end of the at the end of Dynamite, so we knew this on Wednesday. But he
I
goes to the back, puts on a fresh shirt, and then comes back out.
I didn't mean to laugh. Here's why I laughed. Okay. Because the more I thought about it, right, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Why were you limping your ass out there to go talk to MJF then? Because that means you knew the foot was broken right after your match.
Yep.
Why were you limping your broken ass foot? Mm-hmm. You couldn't have just waited till MJF got to the back?
Yep.
That, by the way, and I was, like I said, it's been confirmed to me that was still a shoot because the other people besides the Bucks did not know what MJF was going to say.
Right.
So, okay. Like I talk about, sometimes you just protect the wrestler from themselves. That's all I'm saying.
He can't. He's paying them too much.
That's true.
And when he came in, he gave them creative freedom. It's a problem when you don't set rules from the get-go. Leroy, do you let your kids wake up each day and pretty much just tell them, hey, I'm going to feed you, but you get to do whatever you want today? Or do they have a specific set of rules they have to follow per day?
Oh, yes.
That's not hard
They
to
got
say.
rules.
So anyway, Jesse.
They don't want to follow them, but they got rules.
I'm making an audible here because we got to get the hell in a cell. I'm making an audible, Leroy. You put down the paper. Jesse, how are they? It's been all over. Punk is now hurt, broken foot. He cried tears because that means that he doesn't get to do the one thing he wants, which is bury the talent. But he's still going to get paid.
I think he's harsher than I am.
And his title's not going to be relinquished.
Yeah, no, that's
because he's injured.
CM Punk is still the current. By the way, but Jesse, in those rankings, guess who the current AEW champion is? It's not vacant, the GOAT. It's still CM Punk.
The vacant should have been the champion. Well, I think it's dumb. It's like, one, they're going to make an intern world. Why? Why?
Because we're a sports-based presentation.
This is Tony's favorite thing to do is make an intern champion.
The worst thing.
What the fuck?
The worst thing that's ever happened to AEW is that New Japan exists. I'll explain why.
Okay, please.
Okay.
New Japan did this when
Ospreay
got hurt.
Yeah.
By the way, we can all tell you it was a terrible fucking decision.
It was.
Because the better story was him coming back being pissed he had to relinquish the championship because he's a heel, and then still cheating his way to the world title match. That would have been fine. Because here was the problem. Shingo became the quote-unquote interim champion. But Shingo was a great champion, but it was diminished at the fact that you knew he wasn't the actual world champion. They have not made that mistake again. They've actually apologized to their fans about that because it was a fucking terrible decision.
Yeah.
But because New Japan did it first, just like Simpsons did it, because New Japan did it first, Tony's like, New Japan did this. They're sports-based. This is okay to do.
See, but here's the deal. Actual sports papers cover New Japan.
An actual sports TV station is partially owned by New Japan. Let me relay this out for people very quickly.
Please do.
You see, there's WWE, there's AEW, MLW, Impact. We go on and on. This is the tiers.
Yes.
Yeah.
In Japan, it's New Japan Pro, it's Stardom, and then the others just fit into the pack. That's how much of ownership and shit that New Japan has in that country. By the way, it's not just that country, it's also the UK. So it's New Japan and then everything else. You're not the top guy in your own country, even though you keep believing you are. Can you stop trying to copy them? You can't be them. That's 70 years of work put in for them. Mm-hmm. So every now and then they make a dumb fucking decision. Trust me, they make plenty of them.
Well, Jesse, you say it every probably 5 to 6 years. They just have a 6-month period where you're just kind of like, what are we doing?
Like I said, Torture Club was and kind of still is one of the worst things in pro wrestling. But they're allowed to make those mistakes. New Japan is
70 years.
Because before the pandemic hit, they had a 6-year run where they were the best fucking thing in pro wrestling.
They were.
And I told people I have no problem with Dave kissing that ass because I kiss that ass because I watch it. And then damn is it great. I'll put my tongue in that Japanese ass because it's beautiful. They have never let me down on the show for 7 years.
I love how you still laugh when you know where he's going.
Right.
So why does it surprise you anymore?
That's how great of a run their run was so good. It, like I said, for that 7 years, it literally makes the Monday Night Wars look like infants play. That's how great their run
I'm just
was.
waiting for Karen to come out and talk about. He's talking about buttholes.
Well,
Fuck
that's
you,
because
Karen.
yours doesn't get tongue, Karen. Here's the thing.
And she probably would love it.
Right. Here's the thing. They are trying to be American New Japan so fucking bad, but guess what? New Japan already has Strong. It already exists. You don't compare. And by the way, for 1 hour and 15 minutes, they put on a better show than you do in a 2-hour time segment.
Well,
where technically you get a 10-minute run over.
This intern champion, it didn't really work the first time.
So anyway,
they got to try it a second time.
Jesse, since there is still a reigning...
Before you finish it, the only reason it worked with Cody is because you knew Cody would be back to defend it.
Yes.
That was a literal concussion thing. You knew he couldn't defend it till next week.
It was COVID.
Oh, it was COVID.
It was just COVID.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
So you push it a week. No problem.
So anyway.
So you don't need another title. You just need to boom.
Well, again, you're trying to be New Japan here. But here's the deal. So the reigning, not currently able to defend. No, sorry. The reigning, currently unable to be defending. Undisputed.
You did. AEW
World Champion is still CM Punk. Jesse, how does this tournament play out? Or sorry, what are we doing to crown the interim champion?
It'll be Jon Moxley
versus
it
a
doesn't
random
matter.
person.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter who
dumbass.
he faces because he's going to beat Tanahashi as well. He actually has an undefeated record against Tanahashi in New Japan.
Yeah.
It's going to be Jon Moxley.
So Jon Moxley's going to be the interim champion.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yep.
And he's going to fight.
And they're going to make Tanahashi wrestle twice in the same night, Jesse?
Yeah.
What?
So we're going to waste Goto versus Tanahashi on American soil.
Here's the thing.
To just have Moxley go
that
over
I'm not going to
Tanahashi.
blame AEW for. That part is clearly a New Japan decision.
Right, yeah.
He can do it. That's not going to be the problem.
No.
Because what he's going to have to do with Jon Moxley is probably a variation of the other 4 matches they've had.
Yeah.
The match is going to be great. But yeah, it's going to be Jon Moxley.
Which is going to make no sense because the better...
He was the last believable champion they had.
Well, that's true.
So maybe that's why they're going to do it. But then when CM Punk is back after how long?
Oh, he'll be gone for a while. It's a broken foot.
Yeah, he'll be
6
gone for
months.
probably like 4 or 5 months.
He'll probably be back He'll probably be back after Kenny.
And then he'll have
Maybe
to
before
face...
Kenny at this
Yeah,
point.
well, yeah.
And then it'll be John against CM Punk to unify the championship.
And because it's Tony Khan and he just can't make anything up on the fly,
it'll be in Chicago.
nope.
Oh,
Punk's just going to win it.
Right.
All
yeah.
of this to just let Punk still have his ride because John is clearly getting paid way too much to care about anything he does because he's getting paid $6 million a year
Right.
to go work GCW. And I love you, GCW, but you don't have to. But I hope GCW doesn't pay John because why would they waste the money? John doesn't need the money to go to GCW.
but then CM Punk will have the second longest AEW title reign, next to Kenny.
Yep, and he wouldn't have defended the title for like 5
because
months.
Tony doesn't have the balls to look at Punk and say, "I'm taking the belt."
No, it wasn't even.
No,
Punk clearly said
Punk
I
was
wanted
ready to do
hand
it.
the title off
That's true.
and Tony
to
said no.
give him credit, and said Tony said no. What are you doing? Okay, well let's do a kind of Roman Reigns angle where you have to relinquish the championship, because at least then when you come back, you can go automatically. When you come back, you go, "Hey, I'm the uncrowned champ here. I didn't lose my title. I got
Right.
hurt."
Right.
Very much like Finn Balor had to do. I didn't
Yeah.
lose shit. I got hurt.
Yeah.
Nah, I can't do that. And Jon Mox is going to have a fucking worthless championship for 5 months.
He's gonna. You know what's sad?
Yeah.
Or they're
They-
going to try to talk fucking MJF into becoming the interim champion so they could do the CM Punk and MJF third thing.
The summer of
Possibly.
Punk, the summer
I
of
doubt
Punk
it.
is going to turn into the fall changing of the leaves of Punk. Anyway,
Let's get into Hell in a Cell.
ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to get to the show that we can't wait to see tonight. There is an injury update that Cody Rhodes was hurt during a weightlifting accident. They are suspecting it is a torn pec. No word yet on if he will miss the match or not.
Wow.
But yeah, so the main event is currently up in the air, at least on the internet. WWE has not released an official statement as far as I know.
No, they have not yet.
So we'll see where that goes. But what's the rest of this card? Because let me tell you something. Fuck you guys. I'm actually looking forward to this, and I hate to say it, Jesse. I hate to say it. When I look at the matches, this has the possibility of not being the stinker that Double or Nothing was.
This is in major jeopardy, though.
Yeah.
Because
you've built it around Cody and Seth.
Yeah.
Yes. Unfortunately.
And Roman's not there.
What they're doing. Let me be clear. I don't blame Roman for that.
No, not at all.
Two guys in their 60s told a guy in damn near his 80s this was a good way to book Roman, like we did Brock. That clearly fucking worked out so well for Brock Lesnar.
He beat Brock, took his title and his schedule.
Like, giving him more days off, making sure he doesn't do, like, the live events, no problem. He's getting up there in age. You want to keep him healthy. I got no problem with that.
But he still needs to work every TV and every
He should
pay-per-view.
at least be at the showings. He doesn't have to work a match.
No.
Do a spot here and there. Maybe a babyface hits you with a finisher after the cameras are done rolling.
Yeah.
Done with it.
Yep.
No. We're going to still book like it's 2002. I fucking hate these two guys. But let's get into the card.
Yep. What do you got, Leroy?
Well, yeah, as of half an hour ago, he is still presumably, Cody Rhodes is presumably going to still be in the match.
Well, but the one thing I'll say
they haven't said anything yet.
The one thing I'll say
which
about
could
this
change.
with a torn pec, though, guys, is once it's torn, you can't do much worse with it.
No. He's going to...
If they can somehow shoot it up with some, like,
I mean,
cortisone.
if they shoot him up, then
Yeah.
he could probably make it through the match at least.
Well, that's my point. That's my point is that I think they're going to try to get him through the match.
Right.
Because, again, you can't – unlike Punk with his foot, with the stage dive and the botches and this and that, you can't really do much else to the torn pec. It's torn.
Right.
It's not going to get much worse unless the arm falls off, which
They
is
might, they might change how they
and I think the best thing about it is, one, he's going to be in there with Seth.
Oh yeah, no.
Seth is going to take care. If he's going to be in there, if you're going to be with anybody, it's good to be with Seth.
Right.
So supposedly that is going to go on.
Because as we've learned with Seth, as long as the other wrestler does what they're supposed to, Seth's a very safe worker.
Mm-hmm.
Finn admitted he fucked up. Sting admitted he fucked up. It's never been Seth.
Mm-hmm. But we'll see.
Despite what Brett will say, but Brett will say anything to stay relevant.
Closer to the pay-per-view, another hour, it might change. You never know.
Yeah.
So there we go. All right. First, besides that, is going to be
followers are going to become bitter old.
There we go.
Too.
As this is going to be a mostly
Raw pay-per-view.
Mostly a Raw pay-per-view.
Damn you, Pat McAfee! SmackDown finally got on the pay-per-view. I'm like, God damn it, Pat.
Well, we'll get that
Pat
later.
McAfee breaks the fourth wall in the best way.
He really
There we go.
does.
We have the Raw Women's Championship triple threat with Bianca Belair against Asuka and Becky Lynch.
It's gonna be banging.
It's gonna be.
That's going to be a great
It's gonna be a
match.
fucking amazing.
All
If
right.
the wifey wins, I'm gonna watch Jesse have a moment. If the wifey wins, I'm gonna watch Jesse have a moment.
We'll talk. Well, like I told people, I will do like a little like live chat before we watch it because I want to clear with everything with Cal if we're gonna try to do a reaction thing.
Yeah.
But otherwise, if she wins the championship, you will see joy out of me like I'm getting married.
You know,
tomorrow.
okay. I think Bianca's going to keep it because then Becky Lynch will be the whining of the summer of Becky Lynch.
You know what? People can hate
they
it,
might-
but once again, Becky Lynch is doing exactly what Seth's been doing. It's just, first of all, the outfits mean nothing to me, and no, Becky doesn't look sickly. Becky just looks thinner because she's, I think, trying to lose the baby weight.
No, I
No, she
just
has
think
done that.
I think she looks like a fucking depressed model, which is what she's supposed to look like.
There we go.
Exactly. As long as somebody backstage has her on a healthy.
As over gaudy as those outfits that they keep wearing are.
I think the baby is picking them.
Mike, did you see the white suit on Raw with Seth?
Yeah.
I almost pissed on my television. It was like because I was just like, this is something I should pee on. But
I
Yeah.
don't know. I am picking Bianca in this. I don't think they're going to give it to Asuka right now.
I by the way, my head is agreeing with you. It's probably going to be Bianca.
Yeah.
But
I know.
my heart,
Your
I
heart
know it-
wants the wife.
my heart's like, I want to go propose to this woman after she wins the title.
She will get it. She will get it this year.
Yeah,
She will get it
yeah,
this
yeah.
year. It may be.
She will
It might
look
be
at that
against.
ring,
It might be Becky against Asuka to get that
and
belt.
she would spit that green mist in my face and then smile and kiss me on the cheek. But I would be so happy because she acknowledged me.
Jesse's eyes will not be hurt
See,
by the mist because the tears
The
will wash
tears
it all
will just
out.
wash it
the
out.
tears will wash all the green out of his
Thank
face.
you, Kana-chan. Thank you.
And see that you could watch that on Pornhub.
Oh, yeah.
You're welcome.
Exclusive content right
You're
there.
welcome
Yeah,
for that one.
exactly.
Yes. No, I think Becky against Asuka eventually. That
Yep.
could probably happen again.
I think that's what was supposed to happen. And
Yeah.
then what happened with the tag champs.
Yeah.
There we
Yeah.
go. All right.
Yeah.
So next after this, and this is I don't know why they're going to do another one. This is the fourth one, but Bobby Lashley is going to take on Omos and MVP in a 2-1 hand.
I don't know fucking why they're going to do it, but Bobby's going to win.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't know why the fuck they're doing it again.
Yeah.
I know. It's just like I don't know.
I don't know.
Then the next world
I just want
is
to point something out, folks. Before we move on, there's a point that seems to live in the wrestling ether that no one's acknowledging. You chose Jade Cargill over Omos.
oh
Yeah, they did.
Ooh, yeah.
Just saying.
All right.
Just saying there,
There we go.
Stokely. Stokely Hathaway. The long-lost brother of Anne Hathaway. Annie Hathaway.
Funky Love
Oh,
are trash.
there we
Let's
go.
move on.
All right. The next
That's going to
one.
be our T-shirt.
Yeah, Funky
The
Love
next
is trash.
one is Kevin Owens with our new favorite
my
wrestler, Ezekiel.
I actually
Can we
think-
love Ezekiel?
I don't
This
think
will be
Ezekiel's
the-
gonna win, but
This might be the
Ezekiel, I
culmination
think he will.
of my favorite underlying storyline since WrestleMania.
this is gonna be the funniest one of the night.
This is going to be so... You know what? It's weird, Jesse. Even though... Because by the way, I've seen him live, and Kevin Owens almost got a guy thrown out only for funny because a guy was like yelling at Kevin while the cameras were off.
Oh yeah.
No, I was there. This is the show that Alice and I were
Okay.
at. And Kevin was like, whatever the name of one of the head scare is, yo, take care of this guy. The guy wasn't doing anything, he was just yelling at Kevin. But Kevin was like, fuck you, you're out. He didn't actually throw him out, but Kevin messes with everybody when the
Kevin's
cameras are off.
great with the fans,
But
which is why I think the live events are so fun. Because a lot of these WWE wrestlers are so good with interacting with the fans.
Yeah.
At
But
those.
anyway, no, I don't care what he does. Kevin Owens is just getting paid more than he ever has to do his old shtick on a slightly less PG-14 level.
Right.
But just Kevin Owens is just always
I
good
found
shit.
I gotta find that video so I can put it up one of these days while we're live so people can watch it. It's Sami Zayn going to a kid and going, listen, I'm right about these things. Your parents are lying to you. And like the dad's like on the camera, really? I'm right here. He's lying to you right now. He's not there. I'm like, these fucking WWE wrestlers are phenomenal with interacting
Okay.
with fans. It's great stuff.
You saw that?
I think-
you saw that video with that 2-year-old giving
Roman the
Reigns
mean
that
mug.
the mean
Oh,
mug.
the
That
Roman
was-
mean mug during
he
the match.
just mean mugs him back.
I'm like, they're so good with the fans at live events.
I hope to eventually
But yes,
soon
I've
bring
got-
my kids,
I've got
both my
Zeke-
kids to one of those events. I'll be Clara will just lose it.
I've got Zeke winning, and I've got Kevin Owens going into full meltdown, and I can't
Oh,
wait to
it's
see it.
gonna be
I know,
great.
yes.
I can't wait to see it.
Elias,
and you
you
wanna know
can't
what's
beat
funny,
me.
Jesse? Kevin would probably tell you, I'm having so much fun with this storyline.
I think he is.
Oh, for sure.
I just the way he's going,
He just
it looks like
sold
it.
the fans when he would go to live events and put his head in the turnbuckle, and they would make the caption only a few more months before AEW.
Oh.
He just played everybody that very
It
well.
was really well done.
Yeah, he just played
Because
everybody.
he basically looked done. He's like, I don't want to do this.
When in reality, it was like, I was always going to
right.
resign.
Right.
Unless, of course, AEW
Actually offered the money.
off. Because here's the deal, Jesse. I have to believe that if that deal was similar, if not right next to it, he would have gone to AEW.
Oh, I agree.
I got to think he would have.
If they would offer him 7, he would have been gone. But they didn't even come up to where WWE was at 5. Or 4. I think it's 4.5.
Yeah.
You didn't even come up to that.
Which, by the way, if Kevin keeps doing the work that he's doing and they put him in a somewhat main event, they'll bonus him another 500.
By the way, he'll get bonus
hell yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
for the merchandise sales.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, the next one, good old title match for the United States Championship. Theory, the champion, against Mustafa Ali.
I am
This is
50-50
gonna be
Theory might lose
Mustafa.
his title.
Mustafa. Sorry.
I'm 50-50 Theory might lose his title early.
I am 50-50 because the thing is that whether or not we like it, I think they might push Theory faster than John Cena.
Right.
And like you said, I think Ali, if he's not staying to do the job and he's actually staying, I gotta believe he's getting a title out of this.
Because it sounds like the meeting when he was brought back was basically...
Which, by the way, folks, Jesse
know.
called
I
it.
did.
Vince was busy with WrestleMania,
Right.
but he dealt with it afterwards,
Right.
and everything went fine.
And so when he met with him, he told him, like, I do value you. Apparently, he apologized. Listen, we shouldn't have jumped the gun on you being upset about this. We should have listened. Because you've never not helped the company and done your job.
And that's why Vince always gets in the good grace of the wrestlers, is because unlike most promoters in the past, been proven, by the way, way too much,
Right.
he's willing to admit when he's wrong,
Right.
even to a guy who's technically a lower mid-card guy.
And he apparently he said something like, "You're great. You're popular with the kids. People love you. They love your promo work online. We need to use you more." And he basically told him, when you come back, you're gonna get a push.
Yeah.
So. Mustafa didn't get a raise out of it, but he got to go like, I was right to fight.
But I don't think he ever cared about the money.
Right.
This was never a money situation.
He wanted to be right. Go ahead, Leroy.
I said I've always enjoyed watching Ali fight
Oh, yeah.
wrestling. Great performer in there. If he does it, I mean, John Cena did hint that he would love to give an attitude adjustment to Theory.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, Cena's coming back sometime this summer for a short run, so
me and
shorter than
him.
last time.
Oh yeah.
Theory and John Cena, that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It would be fun.
But I will say this, is that Mustafa, clearly that's how you should handle things, is just go home, wait till you get the phone call, and then just talk to somebody.
And maybe there'll be a title
And by
change
the way,
tonight.
Since I've been on the show, Zelina was right. I said it, and I said she'll be back. She came back. Gonna get a push apparently when she comes back from injury.
After injury, yep.
And then Mustafa Ali, I said he was right, and he'll be right when he comes back. And once again, he was right.
Yes.
The same thing with Tommy before he was released. Even they admitted after release, he was actually right.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things with WWE. Sometimes you have to curb your anger and go, let time play it out.
Because again, as Jesse and I have talked about, it's a billion-dollar company. A lot happens in a 24-hour period. It's eventually going to get to you.
Right.
Vince works so long and so much, he eventually is going to clear his schedule.
Right.
And then it fills up again. But
because I'm sure he goes to his creative and he'll bring up somebody who just, went home like, well, listen, I guess if you're not going to do, we're not, if we can't work together, then, I'll just wait. And so he'll probably go like, fuck, that's right. I'm not using this person because I fucked up.
Yeah.
Let me give him a call. Let's talk this out.
Because again, Ali walked away.
Right.
He didn't bash anybody.
Right.
I'm sure somebody pulled him aside and said, hey, Vince will get to you at some point.
He talked about his release. He said what really helped was Papa H.
Yep.
Especially once Papa H got healthy, going, just give the old man a little time.
Yep.
He got scared, especially after I almost died and stuff. Like,
well, that's the thing.
Give him some time.
A lot of this backstage stuff that's now becoming sort of like taken care of was when Triple H just was removed due to health issues.
Right.
And who knows what Vince's mindset was. Because,
Right.
that's still family.
Right.
That's the family.
Oh, yeah.
And you never
Stephanie
really...
didn't just go home to take care of family out of not the necessity not to work. She's very much like a father in that way.
Now, I know there's been a lot of reports that they say Stephanie wasn't performing the best because of having to take over more roles.
I don't agree
Her
with
husband damn near
Right.
died during this period. Don't
Right.
tell me she's a bad executive
Right.
because
She
she
was
human.
dealing with a lot of shit.
that. Right.
And like I said, I think this is one of those moments where Triple H can find balance between work and family. I think Stephanie just wants to go be with her kids for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Her girls are getting older.
Well, and that's
they
the
need
other
their
thing.
mama.
Well, that's the other thing. Hunter and Stephanie have a very similar setup to Adam and Beth.
Yeah.
In the sense of someone will always be around for the girls.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like Jesse said, by this time next year, Adam's home full time.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's where it's going to go.
I think so.
But anyway, all right.
All right. The next match, I'm looking forward
I'm with
to.
you, by the way, 50-50 on this.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward. I'm gonna enjoy Ali. If he gets the title, I'll be happy.
I think it'll be a great match either way. though.
This next one, I'm looking forward to this, and so is Eben. Hopefully, he's awake to watch this because he loves AJ. But the 6-tag mixed with Finn, AJ, Liv against Judgment Day, Edge, Damian, and Rhea Ripley. This is gonna be a good one. I'm gonna enjoy it.
Yep.
Are they gonna reveal a fourth member at the
think so.
pay-per-view?
Yes.
They're not gonna wait till you think they're gonna do it.
It'll be
No,
tonight.
yeah, it's going to be
Okay.
It's gonna be tonight.
This
But
is,
here's interesting.
This is going to be House
Who?
of Black versus Death Triangle Part 2.
Ooh, yeah.
It's either going to be Tommaso Ciampa
or somebody's going to turn
or
from
it's
the
going to
three.
be Mansoor.
Yeah.
I think Mansoor.
I think Mansoor is very high on that list. Yeah.
Ah, I did not. Okay.
Because they've been high on
didn't think
Mansoor
about
for a
that.
while. He's improved so much in the 3 years.
And Vince
he's
has
been
to
on
start
TV.
building him. And again, this is not a negative because in wrestling you take what they give you.
Right.
He has to start building him for some of the Saudi shows.
About to say that they really do like putting him out there. He also does put on good matches. So
Well, that's the other thing. If he
Yeah,
went
he's
out
a
there
very
and,
good
and
one.
stunk up every Saudi
Right.
show, we'd be on that like fucking
Right.
white on rice.
Right.
But he does well in the ring.
He's a good
Oh, God,
wrestler.
he is.
He's a really likable babyface. So I think seeing him as a heel would be something new for people.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
I think it's happening.
Are they
I-
actually going to
I don't think they're
boo him in
turning.
Saudi?
I don't think they're turning anyone that's in the other team. I don't think that's happening.
No. Because they've never seen Finn as a heel. He doesn't see Finn as a heel. Where Triple H is like, Finn is great as a heel.
Well, but the problem.
It's the one thing Vince and Triple H.
Well, but the problem is, Jesse. This. At what point in Finn's career has he been a heel that's been under the boot of another heel? That's
Never.
That's not Finn's heel
he's
game.
always been the leader.
Yeah, no,
He
that's
would
not
have
his
to be
heel
the-
game.
yeah, he
His
would have
heel
to be the
game
leader.
Is the Prince of NXT? He was the guy, or leader of Bullet Club, and then they kick him out.
Right.
But no, it's just it doesn't. Not saying Finn couldn't somehow make it work, but it's not Finn's entire career.
Right.
And at 40, I don't know if you can teach to be the heel under the other heel's boot. I don't know if that's possible.
I don't think. I think he could do it if he wanted to, but it just doesn't fit the personality.
It's
at
not
all.
Liv because they're not putting two women in that faction.
Not yet.
Not yet. And it's not going to be AJ because he's so likable right now and he's selling so much merch. Vince is not turning them heel right now.
All right. What do you think? Do you think Judgment's going to get the win again?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
You think so?
Julia Hart 2.0. Whoever the fourth member is costing the other.
Costing the American?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah, there
They're
we
costing the club. It's just
go.
happening.
All right. And then the last, which is not going to be the last match of the night, but it's the SmackDown edition with Madcap, which they're cutting. They're just going to call him Madcap now against Happy Corbin.
I actually like this. Holy crap! That he came out
His
looking
comeback.
jacked. I like this. I'm impressed. Alice and I both sat there and were like, "Holy shit! We believe in Madcap all of a sudden."
Yeah, the repackaging without the suspenders.
However you want to take
Serious.
this, folks. That was an impressive showing on Friday. Do not take away from the
Everything but the fucking
fucking
name
name.
for me.
Well, they're not calling him. They're not.
What if they
I
were
don't
to
know.
call them Mad Moss? Just take the cap out. Mad Moss.
Just call him Moss.
Go back to Riddick Moss.
Right.
Michael Cole said it the first night.
Right. Just go back to Riddick Moss.
Said it
like,
after WrestleMania.
Well,
it's
yeah.
not his real name.
No,
it's
it's
the name
not.
you've always owned.
But-
maybe they'll cut it down to Moss or whatever.
The Madcap thing, of course, I because it's just if he's getting away from Corbin, why would you keep the Madcap?
And
part?
I agree.
But
Gene's 100% right. It was the name that was given to him by Corbin, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. And Jesse, maybe that's still in the cards. We don't know.
Right.
But all I'm saying is that, folks,
and I agree with everything about his repackaging.
this was a great night.
Everything but the fucking. I'm not going to get on the music because I'm done with talking about WWE and the music.
I
Well,
like
they-
this new music.
Well, they got rid of that.
His new music on Friday was actually a banger.
Yeah, what they got
It
for
could-
him is
but
better.
Here's my problem with WWE.
They won't license, I know.
You just go get someone to create music again. That's all I'm saying.
I know.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, CFO fucked it up for WWE because they fucked up their own licensing issues. That's on them. CFO kind of screwed
They were
up.
upset and they had the right to be upset.
Yeah.
But,
But
I
I do see Moss get
And
in
then
the
for
win
main
here.
Event, I do actually think that.
What's really funny is
that
I think if
Seth
they
is going to win now.
Maybe it's going to be Cody and
But I'm
Seth.
saying, I think Seth is going to win now, where before I was 100% on Cody.
yeah, because Cody's obviously going to go
Now
away.
that he's got to go away, I think they're going to do a angle.
Injury angle?
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, they
Which
probably will.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Because they were building the summer to build completely around Cody Rhodes.
Yep.
And this does throw a wrench in all of our thoughts that he was going to win
And
the
I
Money
think
in the
a
Bank
lot of
contract.
their plans.
However, think about this. They already had SummerSlam scheduled before they signed Cody. It was already set to be in Vegas. Yada, 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 yada. Cody's back.
SummerSlam's in Tennessee. You're talking about Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank. Sorry.
Yeah, Money in the Bank is in Vegas.
well, no. Well, anyway, the big shows is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah. SummerSlam.
Now,
Yeah.
what if they do push it to when Cody's healthy, and now he does get a chance to win the title in the Garden?
I mean, they could do it now, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. There's an option. Throw it against the wall. See if it sticks.
I actually do think though there's a chance.
I think the biggest pop of the night will be if Madcap wins, and I'm serious because people got behind him on Friday. They did.
Yeah. And
what a beat down with a chair.
And
too.
should we talk about the supposed rumor of who may come in
13
tonight?
Cards mascot.
There she is.
There
yes.
she is.
Even
Ruby.
Yep. Even though Leroy has to sometimes bring her down a peg or two.
Well, hey, she has to learn who's boss, not her.
That's fair.
She's
But anyway,
Ruby that we love.
Jesse, do you even want to get into the possibility of what happens?
Hell in a Cell?
Yeah.
I want to say this. Boy, if they re-sign Bray Wyatt, this is a perfect chance to use him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Where it all technically went wrong, Jesse.
To have Chuck finally win a Hell in a Cell and then Bray comes back anyway, what a story to launch into.
Oh, that would, because he'd be like, yes, I did it, and all of a sudden,
remember,
boom, there he is. It's like,
the
shit.
The Fiend thing finally started to unravel to the fans at Hell in a Cell versus Seth.
Right.
Yes.
So my whole thing is...
Because of that booking and the way...
Yeah. But here's the deal. If he's back, Jesse, if he comes back tonight...
That's a hell of
next week...
Well, first of all, I'm going to come.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Second off,
aim away from the screen.
I might poop.
Aim away from the screen because Cal needs that.
It's worse than that. I got to aim away from the screen. I mean, you're going to have your lady there. Like, I got to be very, concise about where it goes.
You know what? Just aim for Zach.
I'll just put it right in his hair, yeah.
That's the safest bet. Hit him right in the back.
It's going to be hard to have that conversation at your wedding, but I mean, listen.
Well,
my best man got his position because he's going to end his speech with a joke. So that's all you need to know about my wedding. But anyway, Jesse.
Be the third man we know to get shot in the back of the head.
Right.
You didn't do it today because we had so much stuff change over the course of 6 days.
Right.
If it happens tonight that he is back, you're opening the show next week with your talk to AEW being like, when are you going to get over that Tony Khan is not who he says he is?
Yeah. If he shows up tonight.
Because if Vince is willing to put out $6 million, what were you not willing to put out? Because everyone was because like Corey and I talked about, he did do some indie stuff for some movies, so he was involved, but there's always a price. You just have to name it.
Right.
Because Punk found a price. Tony was just willing to name it.
Remember, the report was they weren't willing to pay him the price he was asking.
Yeah.
But the other report was WWE didn't say no to the price he was asking to come back.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And maybe it gives him more leeway to do some of this, and Vince will do it, the Hollywood stuff that he wants to do. Maybe
that was the thing.
Stuff.
Well, that was the thing is that guys like Cesaro, Claudio, guys like Bray...
He's coming back.
Well, we'll
eventually.
See. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's all rumors. It's all rumors, including this. But I think what people have to understand is that it took Cody forever based on the timeline, and it took him starting a new company. But all you have to do, and there's two ways to do it in this business. All you have to do is prove your worth. The one way is you go the Cody route, and you make yourself into a star. Because I don't even think Vince looked at the AEW stuff. He looked at everything else. Because AEW,
I think the AEW stuff helped, though.
No, I'm not saying it didn't. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to the package that Vince can give out, he clearly wasn't looking at AEW.
And Drew McIntyre did the same thing.
Because I'm sure all he had to do was...
Drew is another one.
Drew is another good example of that,
I'm sure all he had to do was watch 5 minutes of Road to the Top. Be like, we ain't doing this shit, pal. But anyway...
It wasn't probably even him. That was Peacock. Like, hey, we're not bringing that show back.
No.
That's dead.
But, but anyway. So there's
two of the best
Cody
examples
Rhodes
of
way.
it.
But then there's the Bray Wyatt way, which is make the fans demand you.
Right.
There's still a demand because the problem that people don't realize and the problem that Vince fell into, it was a profitable problem. It was a problem. The merch still sold like it was fucking a brand new.
Dude, they were fucking Fiend Mask at the AEW Dynamite show in LA. I'm like the fact their fans show up with that shit is crazy.
My kids will probably be in bed if this does happen at the end.
Yeah.
But if I tell them after I get them up, hey, you know who showed up at the pay-per-view, they'd be what? The Fiend? Both my kids are going to lose it.
Right.
And they won't even see it. They'll just be secondhand for me. But will absolutely
I
love
think,
it.
though, this time, if he does come back, I think there should be an understanding between the two of working together, and Bray understanding that the original idea to have tag teams kind of represent his different characters and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. Because usually WWE don't like to do factions, so the fact that they were willing to listen to how you maybe let's do something where we can promote different guys using your characters, while that still gives you control of what those characters do. I hopefully Bray goes, if he does come back, he goes, okay, let's use that idea. Because there's nothing wrong with that. I'm still at the height of my popularity, even though I've been gone for 8 months.
Yeah.
Why not?
And you know what I hope they do